Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Nerdy to Us. Steph messaged me prior to the stream saying that she was too busy, but it'll be on her channel next week. So I look forward to that. But anyway, on it, we have Damaj and I. Yes. So you get to look at him. So
Listen, you have a panel with two sexy people on this
Yeah,
right
there
now.
you go.
That's what I'm gonna let you know right there.
There you go. You still have a panel of two sexy people, and I swear to God, I did not intend for this to happen, but it's going to be kind of a weeb discussion in a way, because I was going to talk about the Love Hashira scene from the Demon Slayer that fans want excluded, and then I found two articles that just begged to be roasted, and that was about Nier Automata anime and Neon Genesis Evangelion. Apparently, the voice actress for one of the characters is supporting the Russian invasion of Ukraine because of, quote, anything to keep Trump out of the White House, which I don't know how that's supposed to work out, or like what the rationale is. I have not read the article, but I saw the headline and I was like, okay, again, this begs to be talked about. And then we have a Kotaku article, because apparently there's a Valorant streamer. I guess he's kind of big. I don't know. I don't watch. I never played Valorant. I don't watch Valorant streamers. Who has been accused of purposely dodging and muting women. Like, he purposely avoids playing with women, so he's being accused of, like, I don't know. Pick an pick a something he's guilty of that these feminists accusing him of. That's most likely what's happening, pretty much. That's all I can think of. And to be quite honest, without reading the article, I actually don't exactly blame him for that. Like, just because Demasha, do you remember when Henry Cavill said that when the Me Too movement kicked off, that like men were now afraid to talk to women? Like, you know, it used to be like simple courting. Yeah.
So I've seen a situation with that. Like but heard of a couple situations like that. Wasn't it Ninja said he wouldn't play with women or something like that, and now apparently this person. Listen, if you're with somebody, and if you're not like me, who is a certified pimp and I don't really care about what people say, but if you're some people who want to have like a certain I guess live persona that you don't want to have, like, be like a womanizer. I guess the way thing to do is just don't have women on your thing. I don't know. I guess me personally, the more the merrier is how I feel about it.
Well, there you go. Like I said, I don't know what his reasoning is, and we'll go into the article. But if it's anything like Henry Cavill's, to be fair, I don't blame him, because it's like, well, you say the quote unquote the wrong thing, and like it's all subjective, and then like you have to deal with that hassle pretty much. So I'm like, I don't really blame him in that regard. If he doesn't want to play with women just because of the fact that he's like so worried, like not worried about it, like, he doesn't want to deal with if I say the wrong thing to be like targeted by the Me Too movement, then whatever, it's his stream. Yeah. Who cares if he doesn't want to play with women?
And that's the other thing too, like you say, is his stream. So if people want to be there, they'll be there, and if they have a situation where they have a problem with that, then just don't go to his stream.
Yeah,
problem solved.
Like, it's that simple. They love telling us, like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But then like they turn around and complain about, I don't know, like, complain about something, and we're like, well, yeah, like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. I'm pretty sure both you and the streamer will survive, and it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
So,
but the other thing too was, on the flip side of that, like I said, the more the merrier when it comes, in my case, like, if he is doing that, and he is kind of sort of, essentially getting rid of 50% of, well, actually 51%, because there's more women than there are men in the world, technically speaking. But if you're getting rid of 50% of your supposed audience, that's a bad move on you, I guess. If you want to flip that. But hey, to each your own. If it's your stream and that's how you're trying to play that game.
Yep. So we'll talk about it later. But yeah, so, well, like I said, like, we could basically essentially be a weeb discussion tonight. So from the top, we have Drew Dat Games. Hello, who says first, and then Josh, he says he's second. Of course, Megatron comes in and says 69th. Gaming or what? Up, good to see you. French ABC, bonjour, Mara. Steph couldn't make it, but I'm sure I'll tell her bonjour when I talk to her later. And Damajnai, hello. Jacob Ironside, good evening to you. Let's see. Trey Courtney says, "Hey Mara and Damajnai, got my liquor ready. I'm ready for cringe." Yep.
You know
You're
what?
in
I
need
haven't had any liquor in a while. I was thinking about getting some too, and I'm like, ah. I'm because all right. So to be fair, I'm trying to get myself in as sexy shape as possible for Orlando meetup because that's happening. Dark Council meetup number 2 is this year, and I'm trying to make sure because unlike when we did it in New York, it's gonna be in Florida, so I'm assuming it's gonna be a little bit nicer out. We could kind of like
Oh, yeah, definitely.
maybe hit the pool or something. I don't know. So I want to be in in some kind of shape where I'm not looking like a freaking Jello blob.
I don't know. It doesn't bother drunk, and you can tell him I said that, but
Oh
we know we love
wow.
him. We know we love him. But anyway, yeah, Joshy, I have not forgotten. I meant to get alcohol today, and I did not have time to stop because he redeemed channel points on my Twitch stream last night for take a festive shots, and I had no alcohol, and I wanted to get some today just to do that for him because he redeemed the points. I'm going to have to buy some tomorrow and take a swig on my Twitch stream later on tomorrow evening when I go back and play Horizon Forbidden West. So I did not forget, Joshy. I did not forget. I just don't have the alcohol. Did not have time.
How's that game,
Kinky,
by the
hello.
way?
I'm enjoying it. It is going to be a grind because I've barely gotten into. I haven't even really gotten into the Forbidden West yet, and I've played for like 2 days because you have so much story build up just to get there in a way. And then like they have introducing different machines essentially, like a few different, at least one different machine that I've encountered.
So is that like a post-apocalyptic kind of story?
It is. Like you
Okay.
probably should, if you haven't played the first game, you should probably play that first because this is obviously the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, and it sets up everything that you'll be like moving forward in this sequel, Forbidden West.
Okay.
But like both games will be a grind. If you start them, it's like open world, very story based and things like that, dystopian, and everything like that. So, but like I said, I'm doing a side mission now to help. Like you should do as many side missions as you can, side quests as you can to get the experience to level up faster. That's where the grind happens, pretty much. So
That's like most RPGs. It's technically RPG, correct?
yeah, it is. It's
Okay.
RPG.
Yeah. Okay.
So hello, TD. Good to see you. Saying Brave says, yep.
K.
Yep. There you go.
What is he? What is he spelling?
He spelled Bukaki because
Oh.
there's a joke. I don't know if you were watching the one of the Talk Nerdy to Us streams a while back. Lethal put in the chat.
And when Steph said his poggers.
Yeah, and my eyes went wide, and I'm like, do you even know what you just said? Now it's like kind of like a running joke now, pretty much. Hey, Andrew. Brian, hello,
Yes.
good to see you. Yeah, kind of an anime talk in a way, pretty much. Yep. Hello, Mark, good to see you. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Are you saying I'm not as pretty? Are you trying to say I'm not as pretty? Well, I might not be as pretty as Mara, but but that's besides the point.
There you go. Hey, Mo Monty, good to see you. Yes, this is my Twitch channel, Jade_Fire. I have Elden Ring. I have Horizon's Forbidden West. I am downloading Soul Calibur 6.
I've been seriously grinding Final Fantasy 14. I'm trying to get all jobs on 90 as soon as possible. And then I'm going to continue playing Nier Automata. Speaking of that, I'm playing that. I'm doing a playthrough with that. I've actually played a couple times on Twitch. I have a Twitch channel, but I'm trying to build more on my YouTube before I split my basket. But whatever. I go on there every now and then. It's a little treat. So.
Actually, I think at some point I am going to connect. I do have my Twitch connected to YouTube. Well, not Twitch connected to YouTube, but Streamlabs connected to YouTube. But so eventually I will do like gaming streams over on YouTube. I just don't have time right now with student teaching.
You're talking extra boomer talk to me because I have no idea how to do that.
Oh well, there you go. She said something about presidents during wartime tend to remain in office during elections. Oh, so she's hoping that Biden is reelected. Yeah,
Oh, that's what he's saying. Okay, yeah.
probably. We'll see. We'll go into the article. But Bill, hello. Says Mara looking great, and hey, Damaj and I looking cool.
Thank you.
You, Bill? Oh, Evan Martin. Hey, what's up? He says, top of the evening, everyone. Good to see you, Evan.
Hello there.
Um, let's see. Making sure I say hello to everyone. Boss Hog. Hello, fucking hello. Steph be
Boss
dodging.
Hog,
Yeah,
that's a classic right there. Digging in the crates.
Yep. Cowman plays. Steph dodging the streams is Moo Mara. Hello, Cowman. Yes, and I'm planning on whooping your behind as Ivy in Soul Calibur 6. Pretty much. Orange Hat. Hello. Good to see you, Orange Hat. And let's see. Making sure. Tim F. Hello, Beaches. Thank you so much for joining us, Tim F. Mark says, "Hail to the Dark Council. When are they going to see Drunken Orlando?" That's in October, right? It's kind of like a
Yeah,
GNG
it's
slash Dark
yeah, it's
Council.
gonna be in October, either late September or early October, one of the two. I don't know if it's gonna be like a. I'm wondering if that's what Drunk is planning on doing. I'm not sure because I know Geeks and Gamers and Friday Night Tights is supposed to be doing that too in Orlando. So I don't know if it's gonna be kind of like a blending of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Might be. I don't know. It'd be cool if it would, because I wouldn't mind. I've already met Gary and Jerry already. I mean, Jeremy. I met them two already. I haven't met everybody else, but it'd be cool if that's the case.
See you, Joshy. Hope you enjoyed the replay. And I've seen you attempt to fight Street Fighter V, Cowman. And
Oh, you seen Street Fighter 6 is coming out.
I just finally got Street Fighter V, so I gotta play that. But I mained as Ivy on Soul Calibur. Like Soul Calibur is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I will school you. Ivy's my main, pretty much.
Okay.
Hey, Aigleen. Good to see you. All right. Yeah, Trey Quinn says, if you want Biden reelected, I'm judging you hard. Well, we'll see. But anyway. Hey, Mazris. Good to see you. Just hopping in. Nice. I hope everyone's evening is going well. I was just telling Damaj and I before the stream started that, children are definitely built differently because never phased us whenever we would be spun around by our parents and we'd be fine afterwards. But my sister and I were spinning our niece around because hold her arms and turn around and spin her like that. And we were like, yeah, okay, girl, we gotta sit down. And she's
Listen,
take her arms up, I want to do it again. I'm like, nope, not happening.
Have you done the 0G on swings? Have you ever did that?
On swings?
Yeah. So when you basically sit on the swing, right, and you kind of lay flat and let somebody just turn it all the way up and then release you. Yeah, we used to do that as kids. That's like where you get that 0G feeling.
You ever been on those merry-go-round type things on the playground, and you would have another kid just run as fast as they can to spin it and then just jump on, and then you try to hold on. Yeah, or even my parents. This was during a time when parents were fine, where they just pick you up, brush you off if you got hurt, and just say rub some dirt in it and you'll be fine, kid. Even my dad and my uncles would do this thing, but they'd spin it real fast, basically, and just hold on, things like that. And if you didn't hold on, you flew off.
Yep.
Nothing like today, where there's making sure they're wrapped in bubble wrap before they go into the playground. Pretty much.
Listen, when I grew up, there was monkey bars, the metal ones.
Yeah.
And there was matter of fact, I remember there was a time they didn't have the cushion on the ground, the rubber mats. They weren't there. So if you fell, I remember I bust my head open on the seesaw. I fell and I hit my head straight on the ground. My face was freaking leaking.
Something very amazing. I once face planted into the sand when I did a big jump off the swing. Yeah, do you remember those where you swing, get someone to push you and keep back and run underneath, so you flew up like this pretty much, and then you try to jump off. Yeah. So we were built differently, pretty much. But anyway, let's first talk about the Evangelion actress. Okay, this is what she's say. Like I said, I just saw this title. Amanda Wynne Lee embraces Russian invasion of Ukraine. Anything that keeps Trump out of the White House, pretty much.
Is this the English actress? I'm assuming.
I think so. Yeah, there's a dub. Yeah, there's a sub and there's a dub, pretty much. I'm assuming this is the dub. All right. Neon Genesis Evangelion voice actress Amanda Wynne Lee says that Russian President Vladimir Putin has done the U.S. a favor by invading Ukraine because of the action's potential to help Joe Biden win re-election. not at the rate he's going. And in her view, anything that keeps Trump out of the White House, I embrace.
So I talked about this on my live stream. Now I don't know what the actual story is behind this, but one of the stories that I'm hearing is that Vladimir's excuse is that he's trying to go over there and stop the mass harming of people and the Yahtzeeism that's over there. And I'm like, the man he's talking about, his family are World War II survivors who literally fought the funny mustache man.
Yeah.
What an a-hole. So when I hear stuff like that, it makes me not believe him, right? It makes me not believe you, and then makes you look like you are the one, meaning Russia, is the one who's being the bad guy here.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're making stuff up, if you're going in under false pretenses, I don't believe you. I don't believe anything you're doing at that point. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it was a case where there was mass harming of people inside that country, I would think that it wouldn't just be Russia. It would be, NATO or somebody like that. That would be say, hey, you can't do that. We're going to come in there to stop you. But being that it's him and he's using it as an excuse, and not to mention, what did he do? Like, what was it, a couple years ago when he annexed like a part of Ukraine before?
Oh, the Crimea.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, so and by the way,
who's like, I'm not saying like people had like, I used to be in the Air Force and I had to pay attention to a lot of stuff that world leaders were doing for my job, pretty much. And yeah, it comes off as like strange in a way now because of like his political speech is more of a rant, and then he's dropping things like drug addicts and neo-Nazis and things like that, taking over Ukraine. But if anybody has been like following him when he first came into power, this is not really any big surprise, because he's been all about returning to not just the Soviet Union, like things like that. That's what people think, but he wants to actually return to what used to be Imperial Russia, when Russia under the Tsars was an empire. That's what he wants to return to. He basically wants to reclaim that land. And
but my thing is, isn't this man like 70-something years old? What is he going to do? Like,
I know, but I'm saying like that's been his like goal since he came to power. Like he wants to like literally go back to Imperial Russia, like how much land Imperial Russia controlled, pretty much.
Wow. Yeah. So to me that sounds like he's the bad guy. No, I don't care. I don't care what your reasons are. Even if you're, look again. What do I really want us to get involved in that? Not really, but we're going to probably get involved with it anyway. But when you're listening to what he's saying, like I said, here's the thing: when you talk about the neo-Nazism and stuff like that, I'm like, is Russia really diverse like that? I mean, I don't want to be that guy and point fingers, but Russia is really almost like a homogenous country. Let's be fair. It's not a real diverse place. And you talk about Yahtzeeism. I'm like, come on, bro. What they call it, pot and kettle. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me started.
Yeah, it's like it just makes you shake your head pretty much. And then now you have like the Genesis Evangelion actor saying that she backs this because she threw her support behind his aggression, taking her personal Twitter say, in one way, does a favor. Historically, every president running for re-election during a war has won. That's to assume that this becomes a full-scale war, which I don't see happening. I really do not see
and that's
happening.
assuming there isn't a room for precedents to be taken, because if you go by how old boy handled Afghanistan, we don't want him in charge with wars. We don't want him in charge with wars. I'm just saying.
No.
I don't want wars, period. Actually, one of the things I brought up in my stream, I was like, since I've been alive, since 1976, I don't think I remember there was a time that we really had an actual reprieve of like no wars. And Kai, he actually said there was a small time between like 1990 and change where there was nothing between Desert Storm. But even then, that was like such a short time. And then we had Desert Storm. And then we had, after that, 9/11 happened. And then after that, 20 years of the stuff. And now we're going into this. It's like no rest for the wicked. I'm just saying.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's just well, her reasoning like is ridiculous because one, there's really no. Well, it does have some historical precedence to it. Like you're assuming this will become a full-scale war, which would mean that our commander in chief would actually take the role of commander, pretty much. Which
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him doing that at all, because he's been so almost lackadaisical and like yes, he's like thrown like sanctions out, but like he's like been really hasn't really come out and like actually said he supported the Ukrainian people, or like
Mm-hmm.
shown that he's supporting the Ukrainian people by actually taking into account what they actually need, which is air defense, which is like not just saying slapping Russia on the wrist with sanctions, but hey, actually help us defend our country.
Yeah.
And NATO can't go
Eh,
in there because Ukraine is not a NATO country.
yeah.
So they can go to. So if Russia tries to do anything else with NATO countries that are kind of surrounding Ukraine, yeah, NATO can go in there, but they can't go into Ukraine.
So, and that's the other thing too. It wasn't, from what I understand, and this is just me doing a quick gloss over. Isn't it true that the Ukraine, when they did split up, Russia, Ukraine ended up having most of the weapons of mass destruction, and they gave them up for protection. Is that correct? Like they gave up their weapons to say, hey, listen, we give these weapons up, you guys will protect us. And one of the protectors is supposed to be Russia and United States, and now Russia's kind of like, yeah, we're gonna protect you, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that, you know, like the true definition of a pimp, basically. Like, yeah, we're gonna protect you, all right, but you're gonna have to do what we say, type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it seems like.
Yeah. I know he's not talking about the president, but like even if like there were like neo-Nazi like militias training civilian people to shoot and stuff, like what are the civilian people going to do against Russia? Like really, what are they going to do? Like even if that's true, but then we're going off the rants of a guy who still cannot grasp the fact that Imperial Russia and the Soviet Union are no more, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So, hello. Metalon, good to see you. And Gary Thomas says it's very optimistic that she thinks Biden will still be alive in 2024. Yeah, pretty much. It was either under Gorbachev or Yeltsin, pretty much. Anyway, she says, met with pushback from her followers, many of whom found themselves unsure if the voice actress was making a joke. One Lee responded by assuring them, fuck you, I'm serious. Anything that keeps Trump out of the White House, I embrace, she declared in the since deleted tweet. Whiny bitches clutching their pearls and trying to police my tone will be blocked. Really?
Well,
Ironic.
here's the deal. I'm not a fan of presidents. Period. Because I just don't believe in bowing to men at all.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that makes me laugh so much when they sit there and they basically loving the Biden juice is they always throw. Trump was just very. To me, when I look at Trump, like he just seemed very brash. That was his biggest problem. I think if he wouldn't have been as brash and kind of like acted a little more presidential, I think he might have just basically killed it, as far as winning. Because Biden isn't a freaking angel, okay? He's not. He's more, to me. I think he's more of an Istanphobe than Trump ever was. Because if you look who he hung around with, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but these people like conveniently ignore that fact. We'll
Yeah,
point
they
out,
ignore that. By the way, if you look at who Trump hung around, Trump used to hang out with EPMD. He used to hang out with Public Enemy. He used to hang out with Mike Tyson, Don King. But then look who Biden was hanging with. I'm just saying. Look, I'm not anybody's fan, but I'm just saying if you look at face value, look who is hanging out with who and who you calling who what. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they don't. And hey, Michelle, I'm doing well tonight. I hope you're doing well.
Hello there.
Also, making sure. Yeah. So can't stand Windbag Lee. Yeah. Geez, Hollywood, get off Trump junk already. He hasn't been in office for
2 years now. It's literally 2 years now.
Yeah.
Literally, he hasn't been in office for 2 years, and they're still riding him.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I hope he runs and wins at this point, just to see the meltdown. I just want to see a meltdown again.
Like the fact that she's saying that if Trump gets back in office, we'll have the casualties from the war and genocide of LGBTQIA people. Like, really?
What did she say?
I
Wait, well, go back up to that.
yeah, like look at this.
It's-
Like she's
it's
claiming there's gonna be if Trump gets back in office, there's gonna be a genocide of the LGBTQ community.
Nobody was. Oh, jeez.
I swear to God, we used to be able to talk about pop culture and just like agree to disagree on just like actual pop culture, but now we have this shit, pretty much.
But here's the biggest problem about that, right? And I was mentioning this before, and I like to mention this a lot. Nobody thinks Yahtzees or ist and phobes are cool. Okay? Nobody does. Are there people out there like that? Sure there are, right? But there's ist and phobes all over the planet. They act like they're like white people are the only people who can be ist and phobe. Okay? Let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure you go to China, they're not too fond of the brownies. I'm just gonna put that out there because they're a very homogenous country too. I'm gonna be clear, you know.
Oh, like it's not just like what you said, but like basically like anyone that's like white or like Hispanic or anything like that. You know, like he said, it's a homogenous region basically, so they're gonna look at you funny, pretty much.
Yeah.
And they're some of the most. I'm not saying the entire country is racist.
No,
but
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
But even then, like it's some of those racist people there versus like not here, pretty much.
Well, listen, we live in a melting pot, and that's the thing that always makes me that really drives me crazy. I work in retail, right? I deal with everybody, makes, religions, is sexual orientation. Who cares? I deal with them, and it's like okay, whatever. It's like, are you here to spend money or not? That's all I care about. That's not
The only color you care about is green. Like
yeah, are you here to spend money or not? That's all I'm worried about, right? That's it. And as far as the customers go, they just want a good product. That's all that really matters. They don't care that I'm a black guy trying to sell them something, right? They just want a good product, and I'm here to sell them a good product. That's it. It's to be fair. To quote Dave Chappelle, says Twitter isn't real. All this issue talking about right here is in a make-believe place. Okay, it's a make-believe place. Mm-hmm. Nobody really cares what she says. She's really just saying whatever.
Hey, A2D2. See,
what's A2? How you doing?
The Green Lives Matter. Yeah.
Green Lives Matter. That's right.
But like
the Benjamin lives.
It's so batshit crazy. She said Winley then attempted to explain her willingness to embrace the invasion of Ukraine, telling her followers, "When my father and my son both had cancer at the same time, I desperately clung to any bit of silver lining to get me through. All right, it's how I process trauma, and I don't give a fuck what you think of my process."
Wait, that was her excuse?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how is that connected to what you're saying about embracing the Russian invasion?
That has nothing to do with it. It just sounds like you're making excuses for yourself. That's what it sounds like to me.
She further doubled down by exclaiming, "To pearl-clutching, wilting lilies, I am legit terrified that Trump may get back in office. This takes him out of the equation of shit that must be dealt with right fucking now. In no way, shape, or form do I endorse war." She then attempted to backpedal. Jesus, you're also desperate to be offended by something.
No, it sounds like you are. Like, my question is to all these people out there. What exactly did Trump do other than make mean tweets that you guys didn't like? I'm just curious. Look, I'm not defending the guy. Don't like Trump. Don't like Biden. I don't like anybody who's a politician because they're all liars, cheaters, and stealers. But what did this guy do that was so bad? When you got somebody who's been in politics forever and who actually did policies that did affect black and brown people, right? Let's be 100%. Again, look who he hung out with. Look who Trump hung out with. Trump might have been brash and might have been talked dirty or whatever you want to call him, right? And then the biggest thing they go through is, he didn't let brown people go into his apartment complex. Okay, douchebaggery for doing that. But again, does that affect everybody? What Biden has done and has been able to do, he's been a lifelong politician, is affect everybody, and that includes black, brown, Puerto Rican, white, everybody's, life because he's a politician. Trump just did this, 4 years ago? 6 years ago now? I'm just saying,
yeah, it's...
Who's done more damage? And you worried about Trump? Come on, man. Who's done more damage?
Yeah, I'm saying, it's like you point these things out to people, it's like, as you pointed out, Biden's been a politician, like a lifelong politician for decades. And he his whole platform was experience for the 2020 election, and I'm like, well, you have experience, all right, but it's basically fucking up the country, not actually helping it. So, in so many words, I'm kind of like you. I do have a political affiliation on my registration card, but it's only because to be able to vote in the primary election in my state, you have to have one or the other main parties to be able to vote in the primary. Otherwise, you can't.
I don't have one. I just have the voter. I just have the registration. That's all I have. I
Yeah,
just
like,
I
well, the way
I'll
my
just
state, yeah, the
I
way
just
my
vote
state
for the
works. Yeah, if you want to
yeah
vote in the primary, you have to be
yeah
one or the other. You can't be either libertarian or independent.
yeah,
But
which
I'm
is
libertarian.
ridiculous.
But I'm libertarian, basically. So
Gotcha.
I think both sides are fucked.
Oh
So
yeah, absolutely. And real quick, Gary, that's what I was talking about. He says, let's not forget Biden gave a eulogy for funeral for yeah. That's what I was talking about. Some of his old friends. I was trying not to say it on the stream because YouTube Mama Susan. But yeah, that's what I was alluding to. I was saying, look who his friends were. Look who Donald Trump's friends were. Like if you look at the two different friends that they hung out with, I mean, look, if I'm going by face value, and you're looking at who's hanging out with who, I'm thinking, Sleepy Joe is in the wrong spot. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. So and I just this is so crazy, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely endorsing war to own Trump is
Yeah.
a whole new level of stupid.
Yeah. So I'm like, so again, it's I enjoyed Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's not exactly like a straight. When I say it's not exactly a straightforward anime, I mean like initially it kind of starts out that way because you have these Ava units and you're fighting angels and these beings that are coming down and kind of attacking uh the Earth, namely Japan, like sectors after a cataclysmic event. But then it got like really deep with religious themes closer to the end. So it's like it's not exactly an anime I would recommend to someone right off the bat who's just getting into anime.
I try. Is this an older anime? Because I'm
Yeah,
sure if
it's
I
older.
okay, that's like because okay, one of my biggest problems is it's like so like I like anime, but if it's like kind of oldish, it takes me out of it because I'm like so used to seeing a certain style of artwork. So it is a little older when I was looking at it, so it kind of like took me out of it a little bit. So that's why I only like watch one episode. But I was thinking about checking it out, but I got sidetracked with fan service.
Oh, there you go.
I can't help myself.
So yeah,
I'm a toxic male. Okay.
It is a little. It is a little older. I think it's like from early '90s or thereabouts. But like I said, like it's good. It does get deep, so it's like you don't, and it's like not exactly deep in like a. It's kind of like how do I describe it without going into like what they go. It's not exactly entirely optimistic. So I'm just gonna put it that way. So if you're looking for an upper, not exactly an anime to watch, but it is good. So now $5 super chat from Epstein's Ghost is Hail Mara, awesome guest, and Mahjong always rocks and knows his stuff. Cheers! Thank you so much, Epstein's Ghost. Much appreciated. Don't be picky, Mahjong.
Don't be. What I do?
I think like about the anime basically. Like, don't be picky. But anyway, like, yeah, that's the Bounty in the Comics article, and it's just like batshit insane. Like you said, like we don't we don't love Trump, but look at Biden. So it's like if you think this is going to be a boost for Biden 2 years from now, to assume like this ever escalates into anything but Russian aggression in a sovereign country. And I like you're smoking something. You're smoking something, and the world is seeing Biden's response to it. Like I said, again, I think both sides, Republican and Democrats, I'm like, each one has
both douches.
Yeah, each one has its problems. I'm not exactly supporting one side over the other necessarily, but at the same time, I'm saying face value. Look at how Biden is handling the situation, and the world is watching. America is watching. This is not going to bode well. And like, as a fuck you to Trump, like you're supporting casualties, Ukrainian casualties. I'm like, how does that work? I just don't get it.
And again, like I said, let's just take how he handled the exiting of Afghanistan. That was not a good exit. I don't care how you slice it.
I
That
don't
was
know.
not a good exit.
Nope. And I don't know what you mean by confused why some chats pop up and others don't. I can select certain ones. I don't select everyone's message. I try to select as many as I can going through. But yeah, see, like I can show this. It's better 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, good thing about the war is that this pandemic is nearly finished. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that
but
was,
that,
don't
but
get
it's
me
like it's
started on
basically
that.
me controlling it. So it's like I can't. I'm not gonna highlight everyone's message. I try to catch them as I'm going through, pretty much. But anyway, yeah, that's the Neon Genesis Evangelion article. It was just batshit insane.
Let's see if we get
So
75 likes. Come on now.
thank you.
75 likes tonight. Let's do it.
So let's keep on with the anime one. So I'll give you the choice. You want to talk about the Demon Slayer bath scene that fans don't want shown, or do you want to talk about Nier Automata, the Gamer
Oof.
article?
Both of them sound real good. Let's do the Demon Slayer because I got something to say about that.
All right. So apparently, like I was telling the Maj night before the stream started, that I have not read the manga. I have fully
Neither have I.
admit it.
I've,
Mhm. Yeah. Um, Lethal is. I know he's reading it. Um, sure if I can. So I don't know. It's probably found the best person to come to for advice. Um, but hey, like no worries. I very much enjoy it. I very like it's a style. It's kind of a chibi style of anime. Not everyone enjoys that style, but I love the storyline. I love the
it's
storyline.
awesome. I love it.
Entertainment District arc was like across the board. Like even the filler episodes were still good. So the entire Entertainment District arc was like good.
To be fair, that I thought we got too little of it because the season 2 they kind of gypped us because they did half of it was the Mugen Train saga, which basically was the movie broken down into. I didn't even watch that because I saw the movie, so I was like, I went right to the Entertainment District arc, and to me, it didn't even feel like it was a filler. It felt like it went by way too fast. That's what it felt like.
Because just the Entertainment District arc, like that's what they're doing. I guess they're splitting it up like like one arc, and then the other arc is supposed to be the
Yeah.
Swordsmith Village arc.
It's supposed to be
So-
probably like I think 4 more. Cause I actually did I looked at the manga releases. So if they to me, I know they're not going to not do this because this thing is making way too much money. I think they're going to do all of the arcs from the manga. They're probably going to shorten some or whatever. But I think there's probably like another 5 or 6 more arcs in the manga. So you figure you can get probably 5 or 6 more arcs in the anime. And yeah, I love it. I love it. So.
Yeah. We just lost my grandfather to cancer. My dad just lost his father, but my grandfather was important to me. Also, I don't want my dad seeing me crying right now. When he is going to need me. So I'm like very much sorry that
my
you're
condolences.
that. Yeah.
Sorry.
So because I lost both sets of my grandparents. Not recently, but like it's I don't have either like set of my grandparents around anymore. I lost my Sitsu, like this is the Arabic side of me, basically. My Sitsu, she passed away when I was 4, so I never really got to know her as well as I would have liked. And my Jiddu died when I was how old was I? Like 17 years old. And then like fairly like like more recently my paternal side grandparents basically. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, and sometimes like even if he sees you crying, I don't want you to feel like you like have to not cry like to be strong, because sometimes you just need to let it out. And maybe like it'll work best for like not best, but like that's just like you and your dad just have a good cry together, because that's what you need basically. Both you and he lost someone like close to you, obviously, and I don't want you to feel like you have to not show any emotion or anything right now just because you don't want your dad to see you crying because he's feeling emotional right now, pretty much. That would just be my impression of it. But like I said, I don't want to say like not the best one person to go to, necessarily, but I don't feel like there's any like one right answer in this situation. But yeah. But anyway, what I was saying is, I haven't read the manga. Lethal he hasn't finished yet, but he's reading the manga. And apparently, there's a bath scene in in the Swordsmith Village arc that he says, and I believe him when he says this. It's like one panel. Like Tanjiro comes across the love Hashira. I guess like in one of those like I guess hot spring baths or something like that. I don't know. I don't know like the scenario necessarily, but he comes and you know how Tanjiro is. He's very straight laced. He's very like he can't even lie. If he tries to lie, he gets this weird look on his face based on the anime. So he's like very almost like a Boy Scout, like almost like a literal Boy Scout demon slayer. So it's like when it's portrayed in the manga, Lito says it's for a laugh. Basically, it's like for a giggle, and it's like one panel, like just one panel.
So are these the same people who got mad that Nezuko got boobs? Because if you are, you're not a fan.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I think it's like a sense like without like giving like like I haven't read this article, but I would guess it is amongst like the same fans that were complaining about Nezuko's look for 2 episodes, and I'm like, one that's her demon appearance, and
so the thing with that is, like you said, this is demon appearance. They was like, oh, she's literally like, no, she's not. She's not a thing. She's a thing. She's not a person. First off, if you want to be fair, she's a demon. But if you want to be even more fair, she's ink, pen, and paper. She's not a person.
Yeah,
that's not a person there. All right, and it's one thing if they had her doing something risque. She was not doing anything risque. She just got bigger, and I'm like, so do you guys say the same thing when Billy Batson turns to a grown man? I'm just saying,
but even
because
like,
it's the same thing.
Even like I like speak personally as a woman that like some females actually develop a lot more normally. So it's like even those like her age, basically. I'm not saying necessarily like it's like like definitely like that, but like sometimes it's like they're going to have like bigger boobs than other women. So
when I was 13, my very first girlfriend was 13, and she was super big. I'm just saying.
It happens.
It happens.
Like, it happens, pretty much.
It happens.
But then these people, because people were complaining about her age and she got big boobs and things like that.
Yeah.
It
wasn't like they were like something like freaking like I was watching so the time I got reincarnated as a slime, like there's a one demon character in there, and she's actually like oversized, right? She wasn't even like that. She just got like, it wasn't even like she was huge. She just got bigger for the gi that she was wearing because she got bigger. Literally, it wasn't like she was like popping out all over the place. It's just she just got literally taller. But if you're the type of person who gets mad about that, then you're not a fan, because that's basically a trope in almost every anime when the guy walks into the girl inside the bathhouse. That's a trope at this point. It really is. Like, if you got a problem with that, you're not a fan of anime, and you need to sit down somewhere. That's what you need to do. Sit down. Go sit down somewhere in a corner and put a dunce hat on. That's what you need to do.
Yeah. So it says here, well, Demon Slayer, they should put fans in quotes, for these people, are eagerly waiting for the 3rd season of the series. Manga readers are slightly concerned about the content shown in the upcoming Swordsmith Village arc. Despite Mitsuri Kanroji barely having any screen time, that's the love Hashira, she's been the subject of controversy since the 1st season. During the Hashira meeting in Demon Slayer Season 1, Mitsuri Kanroji's clothes are slightly revealing, which led to fans having an opinion regarding this. Again, put fans in quotes, because I really didn't notice it. I was actually just watching the anime, and me personally, I was like watching all the different Hashiras and thinking like, she's a simp. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't noticing how she looked, other than the pink hair. Like, she's a simp, because she was like giving lovey eyes to like just about every other Hashira in the courtyard. So I'm like, what was concerning about it? I don't know. I was actually just watching the fucking anime. However, fans are concerned about one particular scene in the upcoming arc. Let's see.
This the character they're talking about?
Yeah, this is the love Hashira. There are plenty of manga readers waiting for the upcoming arc to be animated, given the quality of animation Ufotable has shown while adapting the Entertainment District arc. However, since this is a series being telecast on Japanese national television, fans are concerned about Missouri's bath scene being animated. Since the show is being telecast on television, there's a possibility that the series might get rid of the scene or not adapt it, not adopt it. The scene is just one panel in the manga, which accounts for a few seconds. That being said, Demon Slayer could be scrutinized for animating and telecasting that particular scene. It's a few seconds. Few seconds is a blink and you miss it scene.
I'm confused. What is this supposed to happen? She just like it's not even like this is like, for instance, Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale, by the way, is heavy on the fan service. Like they do, like when I first was watching Fairy Tale, I didn't realize how it was until like you got to like in the later episodes. It seems like for whatever reason they got to later episodes, they was like, let's really show some cleavage or some other stuff. Like they just really was like going full on with it. Demon Slayer is not even that type of anime to begin with. You know what I'm saying? It's not even that. It's not even on that level. Sure, they have, like again, if you wanna make the argument of Nezuko, ooh, wow, boobs.
Yeah.
Everybody's hair should start burning on fire because they're boobs. Ridiculous. But my point being is it anything being done risque, right? I'm pretty sure it isn't because Demon Slayer is not that type of an anime.
Yeah.
High School DxD is that type of anime. If they was doing it on the High School DxD, okay, maybe you might have that conversation. But then again, here's the other thing I want to say about that. Who are you worried about seeing this? Because if it was an anime like High School DxD, right, you shouldn't have your kids watching that. That's more of a mature type of anime, right? So you shouldn't be worried about kids seeing it because if you're a real parent, you know what your kids are watching. So that should eliminate that whole argument. So, but Demon Slayer isn't that type of anime. So even if they show, which I know they're not even going to go crazy with it, even if they did show like a half of a nip slip, which you know they're not going to do,
yeah,
right? You know they're not going to do because it's not that type of anime. What you worried about? You know what I'm saying?
And from the impression I'm getting from, like, Lethal was talking about this on his live stream this morning, and that is, like, all that really happens is Tanjiro just, like, happens to come across her while she's bathing. Mm-hmm. And it is, like, a blink and you miss it kind of, like, it is one panel, so it'd be a few seconds of, like, the anime, basically. If you blink, you'll miss it, essentially, kind of scene. So it's like...
So she's bathing. That's
she's
it.
Bathing.
Are they showing a full frontal or anything in that? And which, by the way, it's probably her back, because that's usually when they animate and do any kind of, because like again I said, this type of scene in anime is a trope at this point. 9 times out of 10, if they're showing that, but there are cases where they show frontal, but that's not that type of anime for this. It's gonna be her back. I can almost put money on it. It'd be her back, and even if they did show anything, it'd probably be like side boob at the worst.
I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty sure, at least in the manga, it's implied that he sees her from the front. But even then, all they would have to do is animate it in a way that's, like, it's implied. Like, obviously, definitely implied for a situation. So it's not like it's, like, full on in your face.
Exactly. Like I said, it's not that kind of anime.
They don't need to remove it at all, pretty much.
Exactly.
So fans also happen to bring back the topic of the Entertainment District arc simply because the arc was set in the red light district. Fans had issues with the setting simply because family-friendly shows don't need content of that nature. It's in the manga. The Entertainment District arc, the prostitutes are the entertainment.
Yeah.
They literally are the entertainment in the Entertainment District arc. So I'm sorry. If you don't say you're fans of the manga and then are upset because it's supposed to be a family-friendly show. It's more family-friendly than other animes, but
definitely.
If it's in the manga, Ufotable is adapting it. So why are you pissed off? I just don't get it.
Did you see what A2 wrote? She says those people clearly never watched Dragon Ball. They would freak because Roshi was gangster with it. Matter of fact, there's a panel. Well, not even a panel. There was actually in the. I don't even know if it's still up if you can find it, but there's a scene in there where Goku's sleeping with Bulma. And when they're kids, he's like, wait, where's her stuff? And he like lifts her shirt up and he's like patting her around like I'm like, that's way more gangster than you're gonna see in freaking in Demon Slayer. Because
Yeah.
back then, it was a little more. You get a little bit away with a little bit more back then. Because Dragon Ball now is way too corporate, so they would never do anything like that. But back in the day, Dragon Ball, Goku was looking for the goods on Bulma. Was like, where's your goods at? Like you don't have them. Like, where are they at? Because he's never seen a female before. You know what I'm saying? So it was more of an innocence type of deal anyway. But like I said, the biggest takeaway from this is that Demon Slayer isn't that type of manga or anime. It's not intended to be an ecchi. You know what I'm saying? There are ecchis out there that will show a little more. You know what I'm saying? But this is not that type of deal. Even again, the whole thing about the entertainment district is what the entertainment district means, but they didn't show anything. That should just be your cue right there. It's that is the cue that they're not going to show anything crazy. Because if they were going to do anything crazy, the entertainment district would have been the prime place to show it, right? Because it's clearly the entertainment district. And so, with that being said, him seeing her in the bathroom is like,
I mean, hell, the entertainment district arc itself is like, I would say more violent than like a chunk of season 1, pretty much. But even then, it's like not as like violent as other animes I've seen, pretty much.
no,
And like,
no,
but
absolutely not.
but it was violence that was like, like not violence for the sake of being violent. It's actually like they are fighting a demon. These demons are attacking humans. They're causing destruction around humans without any regard for human life. So yes, there's going to be death, there's going to be violence and things like that, but it's not really like standing out as if like unnecessary in the entertainment district arc. Same with I'm sorry, this is set in 1800s Japan. There are geishas. Geishas were these are brothels, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, so again, if you're a fan of the anime, why are you complaining about this?
They're not fans. And by the way, you want me to tell you the one thing I hate about this, especially this type of world, like, well, not the world, but the way entertainment is being depicted now. Anybody who watches something, they put quote unquote fans on them. You're not a fan. You're not a fan if you're worried about that. You know what I'm saying? That's where we need to stop that. They should say viewers of said anime, but not a fan, because a fan is not going to care about what's going on with the depictions of pixels and paper, okay? Because it's pixels and paper. That's exactly what that is. So,
and like for genuine fans, it's like if we have any issues, it's most likely at with the storytelling or the writing, basically. Yep. These fans will be like, "I love it, but," like no fan will say, "I love it, but." There will be no but, basically.
Perfect example. I'm glad you said that. It's the same type of people who say, "Oh, I love Lord of the Rings, but it needs to be changed for now." Well, then you didn't love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no.
You didn't love Lord of the Rings then. Because if you love Lord of the Rings, you don't want to change it. Which is my exact problem I have when it came to Star Wars. You changed so much things to Star Wars, it isn't Star Wars anymore.
Yeah. So that's what they should put fans in quotes, or like you said, viewers of, because that's what they are. They're just viewers of.
They're viewers of it. That's all it is. They're not fans of anything. I'll be right back.
While some fans have raised this issue, some fans are trying to understand why no one is talking about the constant decapitation of heads. That's the way to kill demons. I'm sorry, it's in the manga. And extreme violence. Again, they're killing demons. It's not going to be like they don't sit down and hash out the differences between themselves and demons. They kill them. Demons kill humans. They have to kill the demons to protect the humans, which has been a topic of concern considering it's a family-friendly show. Do you know the fucking manga? I'm like, it's not exactly like this is a show that's not based on anything. If it's supposed to be like a family-friendly show and this is happening, but it's like there's no source material that they're adapting, then yeah, I can maybe kind of see it. Maybe, that's a hard maybe. But they're literally adapting the manga these people claim to be fans of. It's violent. The manga is violent. That's how decapitation is literally how they have to defeat the demons. They have to decapitate them. There's gonna be violence.
Yes. Like they never saw an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because technically speaking, their demons and demon slayer are more indicative of like just a regular vampire because they have the same weaknesses as what a vampire would have in Buffy. They got decapitation, sunlight, fire, obviously any kind of magical, holy type of weapon that would hurt the demons in this type of show. So yeah, they're more almost like vampires, which is technically demons anyway. So, but yeah.
$4 super chat from Storyman Jack says everyone has forgotten about the most important thing, story. Yeah, that story is what matters pretty much. And if you're complaining about stuff like this, then yeah, you weren't a fan to begin with. But yeah, like that's what these are the same, most likely the same fans that are complaining about the violence in the family-friendly show, even though it's an adaptation of the manga, as well as the I'm sorry, Natsuko, like her tits grew when she was a demon, and then they went back to normal. And then they went back to normal, like, literally 2 episodes later.
Not even 2. It was like 1 episode later. Because she only changed that for 1 episode.
Yeah, so I'm like... It's like 1 episode. 1 episode, and, like, it was like, what, 22, 23 episodes in the first season. Then you have the Mugen Train arc, movie, and then Entertainment District arc, which was, like, however many episodes it was. So
I think so. It was split in half. So it was 10 for the Mugen Train and 11 for the Entertainment District.
Yeah, so basically
so 21.
So 21 episodes this season to include like the added filler for the Mugen Train arc. 23, I think it was like 23 for season 1, so that's 44 episodes, and the movie. Mm-hmm. 1 episode. 1 episode out of a movie, and like 42 other episodes. And she's back to normal. Literally back to normal. To the point where, like, whenever she is, like, in her weakened state, she's tiny.
Yep.
He's, like, literally tiny.
And by the way, they always keep bringing up her age, but she actually makes herself small so she can fit in the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's probably the same size. If you used to say her actual size would be the same size as Tanjiro.
Yep. Yeah, there's fan service for both guys and girls. Yeah. They can complain about violence and horror. Yes, they also complain about violence in video games, which is like nothing new.
Yeah, that always makes me laugh.
Hello, Steven. Good to see you. Yeah, so
What's
it's like the
going
same
on?
straw man argument, pretty much. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen there. Close that. Now we have Nier Automata. Because we have...
This I definitely want to talk about, because I missed when Letha was talking about that. I caught it right at the tail end, so... I was going to talk about it on one of my shows because I am a huge fan of 2B for obvious reasons. I do need to get, so like if you see right here, let me see, can you see that? I have like my Gogeta there. Big shouts to 19K Fox. He sent that to me. So I'm like, I need to get me something else to put there. So my goal is to get a 2B statue or something to put there. So I definitely want to do that. 2B is cool.
So yeah, I get that, but generally the aspects are the storytelling. It's like, like the story wasn't good or the writing wasn't good, things like that. But more often than not, it's like when it comes to an adaptation, if it's an adaptation of a material that you claim to love, like, and it's like nothing to do with the storytelling, then I would call into question like whether or not you like genuinely loved it, pretty much. Because you could, fine if you want to complain about this, like the arc itself. You don't like, maybe how the characters' storylines went or anything like that, or or whatever. Fine. I'm not a fan of every story arc I watch, basically, or how the characters' actions, like part of the story or anything like that. But when you complain about like little things like this, a blink and you miss it scene, Nazuko's demon form, and they're taking out of it, like not taking into account the fact that she is a demon. She's really not human anymore. Then how do you call yourself a fan when you're overlooking those things?
Absolutely. So. Viewers. I'm going to call them that from now on. Viewers.
Pretty much. But, hey, Riot Kitty. Hello.
What's up?
But yeah, so Nier Automata is perfect for anime, but I hope it doesn't lean too hard into fan service.
Yeah, that person needs to shut up automatically. I'm going to tell them to shut up. We want fan service. That skirt needs to move around every now and then.
Yeah. Well, that's like so here's a fan service, pretty much. Nier Automata is one of my favorite games ever. Again, someone who's claiming that they love the game or they love the anime series or manga or whatever, but I'd be a fool to say it was flawless. Yoko Taro's masterpiece is visually inconsistent, requires a lot of patience to reach its finest moments, and leans into gratuitous fan service a little too much for its own good. I'm a hardcore supporter of 2B's thighs and other assets, but can only justify their relevance to the plot for so long before I'm accidentally buying a body pillow off eBay. 2B's excellent arc is frequently undermined by creepy butt shots and camera angles that are more than happy to paint her as a sexual
I'm
object.
sorry, did you say creepy butt shots?
That's what she wrote. Creepy butt shots. But she's a fan. She loves the game. Yeah, like she loves the game. Creepy butt shots. Hey, Keely. Good to see you.
Wow. Wow. Okay, continue. This person's losing me right there.
Oh, this is the
Listen,
gamer. This is the gamer. They lose you after like literally first.
You lost me.
Yeah.
Listen. Let's be fair. Us brownies like the booty. I'm just saying.
It says Taro in the past has tried to justify exactly why some of his characters are dressed like this, but it often boils down to girls being very pretty and worth admiring over anything thematically worthwhile. Lesbians like to look at sexy chicks too. So, I mean,
and 2B is not human.
Yeah,
she's an android.
Hey, look, chicks like to look at sexy girls too. Like when I was creating my character for Elden Ring, my nitpick is that like they let you like it's in depth in some ways for character creation, but it's not really in depth in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have liked to change the body in a way, and I wanted to make the boobs bigger on my character.
Thank you. My character is the same way, like because like in Final Fantasy they have all right, so you can adjust the boobs, but they're really not adjusting the boobs. Like it's just like you're not really doing anything, like, and you can't even do anything with the booty. Like there's nothing. Like, you can't do anything, like nothing at all. It's like it's just basically flat and like.
But even in Elden Ring, when I was like increasing the like chest size, that all I gave was like chest.
Yeah.
I really didn't notice anything that was happening. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's
it's like I'll keep it here, pretty much.
Now I will tell you this: you're gonna be pleasantly surprised when you get Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur, you can do stuff. Trust me. You can adjust your character.
I play Soul Calibur, so I know about like the customization. It's just I haven't just haven't played it in a while. But I'm an Ivy main. Ivy Valentine is my girl. Pretty much.
Yeah. Because just because of the fact that Ivy is a template, that lets you know that what you can do.
Well, there you go. So you know. And I know Ivy's template basically.
Yeah.
I mained her like the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my other nitpick. It doesn't have alpha choices. So basically, whatever class you pick, you're stuck with the one outfit.
Really? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, like, Final Fantasy, you got like when they first came out, you were forced to get like whatever they had. Like you got lucky if you could find a nice outfit or whatever. Mm-hmm. Then I think it was in Heaven's Ward. They put in the glamour function, and that was it. That made it tip top because you could put anything you want. So like I said, my character, I have her with I actually literally have her with the 2B outfit on. Then I have other outfits and stuff like that. But yeah, most of the characters, you know, the character creation in there, you know, you really still are stuck. It's not like you can go crazy with it, right? You know, you really can't. But even with that being said, I'm just stuck at this person right now saying creepy butt shots. Like seriously, like that's not even. And my question is, did this person actually play this game? Because well,
they're saying they're a fan of the game. They claim they're a fan of the game. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Because I have in Nier, I have the different outfits, and her original outfit isn't even the most gangster one. And not even the other one where they showed, like, if you scroll up the one that they had there, that's not even what she has, like a bodysuit. Like this one here, that they have the one with her without the skirt, and it just has the just the top and the no skirt. That one's okay, but the one they have with her with the full bodysuit is almost like a tracksuit. That one is the most gangster because it shows like basically everything.
How has Elden Ring been thinking of getting it? I haven't played much of it. Character creation took a little bit of time. pretty much like when I streamed it on Friday, late Friday evening. But if you haven't played, was it Dark Souls? If you haven't played any of those games, you're thrown into the deep end basically. So it's a like hard learning curve playing this game pretty much, and you'll get your. I got my butt handed to me several times. So I'm like, okay, can I fight this enemy? No, I just got stomped. Okay, so let me figure this game mechanics out.
Is that another RPG type of deal?
It is. It is.
Or is it an MMO?
It's more RPG
Okay.
because you're in this world where it's I'd have to find see if I can find the intro for you because there's story behind it where this I guess she's a deity or something is disappeared and now they have these claims and things like that. There's actually a character, not one of the character classes you can pick, but a character called the Dung Eater. So it's so when I was streaming it, I was like, okay, you can literally tell him to eat shit and die, pretty much.
He's a dung eater. That's what they call
Dung
him?
Eater. Yeah, he was that was part of his name title. So I was like, okay, yeah. But it's
what is
a
a
little
dung
involved.
though? What is a dung in there? Is it a dung eater? What is a dung?
Dung
Yeah,
is another name for shit.
Oh, that's what. Oh, okay, gotcha.
So when I say when I was streaming it, I was like, oh, I can literally tell him to eat shit and die because that's what he does, pretty much.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'd have to find the intro to it because it is a little not involved, but it's there is lore behind it that was set up by George R.R. Martin, who wrote Elden Ring but can't seem to finish Game of Thrones, pretty much.
Oh, this is from George R. R. Martin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's
well,
a
he has
game
a
from
hand
him.
in it. Yeah, he has a hand in it. Yeah. Elden Ring.
Really? Oh, okay, I see. I see.
Smiles to Cass says every time I hear somebody get their granny panties up in a bunch about over-sexualized female characters, I get more brain aids. Yeah, pretty much. Brian Kitty points this out. I don't think Nier Automata has fan service, at least not to the point where someone needs to make an entire article about it. Yes, girls have backsides. In a third-person game, you will look at backsides. Yeah, it's a third-person game, so you're going to kind of look at her backside. And I see Raging Rhino in the chat. Good day, Raging Rhino. Good to see you.
What's up, Rage? Yeah, and that's the thing too. That's so that's why I created a female character when I played the game because I'm like I don't look at a dude all day. that's why I made a girl. So
yeah, I made mine not a human character. It was it's the race that looks like a vampire and skin tone and things like that. That's what I chose. Yeah, I'm kind of with Druidite Games, probably a little bit higher than a 6, but like I said, I just started playing it. So I'm kind of feeling my way along right now. So I don't want to exactly give it a score just yet until I've played it again. Hello, Winky Winky Woo. It's a Sweet Home Alabama. Hello.
Winky Winky Woo.
So yeah, so
you got your audience has great names.
Yeah. Taro in the past has tried to justify. Okay, yeah. Thematically worthwhile. The androids in Automata are dressed in a way that would prove appealing to their deceased human overlords, and they do look fabulous, but it isn't enough to pull away from an aesthetic that is distracting in the worst possible way. Horny is good, but there's a time and place for it. If you're
Nobody's getting horny off of it.
Yeah, if
it's just good to look at.
Yeah, if you're getting horny off of it, then that's just something about you.
Yeah.
Not Taro.
I'm playing that game because while yes, 2B does look, she's appealing for the eyes, but the moves that she does is great. I love the fighting style. I love how you get the the moves you can do and all that stuff. That's what I like about playing the game. You know what I'm saying? For instance, let's be fair, because you do play, which again, you play with 9S too. I'm just saying, if you ever played the game, you play with 2B, 9S, and A2. It's 3 people you play with in that game, and it's not just 2B. So,
and
by the way, that's only part of the game too. Because if you play with 2B, it's only probably I'm gonna say about maybe 60% of the game. Then you change to 9S, and then it turns to A2. So it's
at the end, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, what are you talking about?
Fan, folks. Fan.
Yeah.
Yoko Taro is otherwise an exceptional storyteller and continues to produce games unlike anything else in the medium, and I imagine he'll also have some input on the animated adaptation for Nier Automata. Announced during the recent anniversary stream, this upcoming show is helmed by Aniplex and will see the return of characters like 2B, 9S, A2, and several others alongside themes and locations prevalent to the game. I think Aniplex did an anime called Garden of Sinners, which is
They
very
also did.
anime.
They also did the Godzilla one too.
Okay.
That Omniplex is Sony. I think they own, Sony owns that. I think if I'm correct,
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I believe that's Sony.
I'd have to look it up, but I just watched not too long ago the anime Garden of Sinners, and it's a very interesting anime to say the least. And I think they are part of it at least. So that's interesting if they're involved with
What was
this.
that? Go back up real quick. I want to see that.
That was just
Oh, okay. I thought it was something. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
no. Given past projects like this, the anime will likely seek to retell the original story while simultaneously expanding upon it, touching on similar beats in a truncated form instead of aiming to tell an entirely original tale. I could be totally wrong, and I hope I am, but either way, I hope that the Nier Automata anime doesn't lean even further into the fan service that holds the game back in so many ways. It's a medium that is home to some of the best and worst animation ever conceived. At one end is Studio Ghibli, while on the other sits Boku no Pico. Pretty please don't Google that one. You'll absolutely regret it. And there's rarely a middle ground. Again, fan. So, look, if it's anime, there's going to be fan service.
That's part of the trope. It is.
No.
Especially something like this. Now, again, if you talk about something, even, well, when we were talking about like with Dragon Ball had it more. Dragon Ball Z had it. It had it, but not as much. It was mostly leaning more towards the fighting. Like the fan service surrounded mostly Bulma, right? That's basically because Bulma was like your sexy MILF in that show at that point. But really didn't lean on it too much, really, because it was just about that. So my point being is that specific types of anime will have it, and this game, while she says it has fan service in it, it's really not meant to be fan servicey when you think about it. The only thing about it, I mean, to be fair, there's no cutscenes that's really fan service. The only thing that's fan servicey about it is that if you literally point the camera up her rear, you can do that. That's how you could do it.
Oh, Lethal
so that
pointed
means
it out constantly.
what's that?
Lethal pointed it out as constantly as he could on those.
No, I'm just saying, but that's
no,
my
like,
point. It's not
he had
the
to do
game.
it.
The game itself is not really being fan service. That's up to the person who's playing it can actually determine if it's fan service or not, because you can put the camera the way you want in that game. It's not like the game is specifically not like, for instance, like you were saying with like with Demon Slayer, if they're physically gonna, they have to actually draw that in there for you to see it. Same thing with this. It's an option for you to do it, but you literally have to do it for it to be quote unquote fan service. To be fair,
Yeah.
So that means that this person was doing it the whole time and was worried about, like, basically, like, it's like that that one meme where it says, it has the sign says, "Do not enter." This is have like risque stuff, and then a person drills the hole in it and just says, "Oh my God, my eyes!"
Yeah,
like, it's telling you not to do it, and then you did it, and you say you complain about it. That's basically what this person is doing.
Yeah. So, but again, like, fans claiming to be a fan of this. I've never known a form of media that can be both emotionally poignant and utterly degenerate at the very same time, explaining why it long held a controversial reputation outside those who weren't willing to dig a little deeper. What controversy? I mean, I'm saying, like, I never really played the game. I watched Lethal stream it. I didn't see anything controversial. And like you pointed out, and Lethal did this. I'm not calling Lethal out or anything, but I'm saying, like, for you to be able to see her rear end, her ass cheeks, he had to put the camera angle in a way for you to be able to see that.
Yes, exactly.
Otherwise, like, when he's playing the game and they're running, or he's running to, like, the character's running or whatever the situation is, it's kind of not far away, but it's like it's not.
It's covered up
either.
It's covered up. That's why I said that the dress that she has on, the stock dress, isn't as bad. Like, if you would put the tracksuit on, it's more defined because there's nothing blocking it. With that dress on, You literally have to go underneath the dress to see it. You have to in order for you to see it. You know what I'm saying? Or when she's climbing up the ladder. 'Cause that's, to be fair, that's when I first saw 2B. Somebody was actually had it on YouTube, and they were basically showing her going up and down the ladder. It's like, oh, what game is this? I might have to check this out.
Yeah. So let's see.
And
All right.
sorry, the other thing about Nier is that I think this is like game number 5 in that series. Because this game started out, I think, in Dragon Age. Dragon Age, I think, I might be confusing the name, but it started from a different game and it became Nier Automata. Like this Nier Replicant and this other stuff.
Yeah.
There's other games in this series that basically led, because Nier Automata is actually 10,000 years in the future. That's how far away the future it is. So there's previous games led up to this. To where we are in there. So I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool if when they do the anime, they dive into that. That would be cool. You know what I'm saying? If they show what happened 10,000 years in the past, that would be cool too.
Yeah, Lethal played Nier Replicant as well, and I know from I didn't play that one yet either, but I know from like reading about it that apparently there were 2 versions of it, and the version he was playing was the one that was not released in the West because there was and the 2 different versions were like the one he was playing was like the character, it's like a brother and a sister relationship, but when it was originally released in both like Japan and in the West, the Western version was like a father and a daughter.
Yes, that's what I heard too. So so he's probably playing Nier Replicant version, like it says like Nier Replicant version 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the new one that came out. That's more of a remaster. So there is the original one that came out, which is the one you're probably talking about previous, where it was a father-daughter deal. So I'm eventually gonna get it. That's why I said I was actually telling my members that going forward, like my bonus streams I do gaming, I'm gonna go back into playing Nier so I can finish that game up so that I can eventually get Replicant so I can play that. And obviously, because we got a bunch of games coming out this year, I'm tempted on getting, but I definitely want to get Nier. I mean the Replicant, and I want to get Street Fighter 6, obviously. But they also have the Final Fantasy Origins coming out also too. I'm torn on that. I'm torn.
Yeah. I don't understand it either, and I live in the West, pretty much. I don't know why they want to impose Western standards on it. I'm like, I like one. It's like the standards themselves are like almost puritanical, and it's like comes from people who claim to be liberal. Much. It just mind boggles.
And the crazy thing about it too, you really want to think about it too. When you talk about like the Western entertainment, like to be fair, didn't porn become a thing because of the West? I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like we basically invented smut, and you guys are worried about like side boobs. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, they're worried about anime titty, and we invented porn. I don't know what it is with these people, pretty much. Okay, so I've never. Okay, even after doing so, there's still a megaton of bullshit to deal with. I'm so used to seeing brilliant shows and groundbreaking films held down by unexpected nudity or crude jokes that have no reason to exist. Perhaps it's a cultural divide or market research dictates that boobs and butts must be present or the viewer will find themselves lost. What movie? Okay, fucking hell. I need a drink. Seriously, I need a drink.
Again, this game really doesn't have gratuitous boobs and butt shots. Like you were just saying, like Lethal had to put the camera on it. You have to literally do it for it to be like that.
Yeah.
The only time that is actually, and even then, you still have to put the camera on it, is when she's going up and down the ladder. If she's going up and down the ladder, sure, you can see right up her skirt or whatever. If that's your thing, but that's only because you're going up and down the ladder. Other than what's that like maybe like 30 seconds at a time? Because like usually when I'm going up and down the ladder, I'm speed going. I'm not going up. Ooh, let me see her booty. I'm trying to go fast. Like you can jump up fast up the ladder. Like what are you doing? Like that's really the only time in that game where you're literally like looking at her butt the whole time. Like, and it's not like she's like super voluptuous up top. She's more sporty up top. Like really, she's more thighs and hips. That's what 2B is. You know what I'm saying? So again, where's this gratuitous shots that she's talking about? Where?
again, it's like again claims to be a fan, and
Mm-hmm.
for like devil's advocates, like yeah, like I'm not talking about Nier Automata or anything like that. Like sometimes films when they have nudity just for the sake of having nudity, I could kind of see her argument there because I'm like, did you really need it? No, it was kind of
Mm-hmm.
gratuitous. But I'm not going to exactly bitch and complain about it because of the fact I'll just point out that it was gratuitous. However, you're talking about a game, so what does it matter talking about shows and groundbreaking films? What point does that have to do with a game where, again, pointing out that the only gratuitous aspect to it is based on the gamer himself or herself and where they chose to put the camera angle?
Mm-hmm.
I just again, if you ever read The Gamer, I'm not recommending you do so because you will develop alcohol poisoning. But
Is that what this is? The
yeah,
gamer? Oh.
but these are articles that I generally almost inevitably cover on my cringe factory stream because I can always guarantee there's gonna be
It's
some form of
cringe.
cringe
You get
on the
second
game.
level. You get secondhand cringe from reading it.
Yeah, yes, pretty much.
Yeah, stop right there real quick. Again, so she's not even like ridiculous. She's have more of a sporty body. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she has a little window there, but that's like whatever. Like it's not like it's like, ooh, my boobs are all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like there's modders out there who like,
I mean,
you know,
have they seen some of the outfits that actresses and celebrities wear to Met Galas?
yes.
It's similar to that. It's like they still show boob, but you have a problem with it in a video game.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
There's also the growing market of Blu-rays, figures, and merchandise, which encourage the production of cute characters that fans will cling on to, labeling them as waifus and husband. I use the term husbando. All right, I will admit that I use that fucking term because I watch anime, and I will drop that term because there are male characters that I call husbando and I like them. Fate Zero, my husbando was Lancer. The Lancers, I love those characters. In Demon Slayer, it's Giyu. Even though Inosuke is best boy, Giyu is husbando to me. So, fuck you, Gamer and Jade King. I will drop those terms. And I don't care if anyone wants to drop the term waifu. It's nothing to be taken seriously. Unless you are a pervert, it's nothing to be taken seriously. Because vast majority of them are just dropping it basically for lols. Go, waifu, pretty much.
Of course. I call my waifu harem in Final Fantasy VII is Tifa, Aerith, and Jesse. It's my waifu harem. It's not like I'm really gonna have a waifu harem of Tifa, Jesse, and Aerith. They're not real.
Yeah, it's just an expression. Labeling is what that will have outlived the cultural impact of whatever happened to spawn them. Having been to Tokyo a couple of times, there's a massive market for these things, with an entire industry arguably dependent on it. Throw enough anime girls at the wall until something sticks, and when it does, you're in the money. Weeaboo capitalism at its finest. Well, there's also anime guys. Like I said, I call Lancer, like the Lancers from Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night, husbandos. I call Giyu husbando. Like those are my, like, I guess based on it's like I don't want to say attraction to the characters, but there's aspects of the character where I'm like, oh, that would be like husbando. I love their characters, love their arcs and things like that. I know damn well that the Lancers and the characters in those animes are not real. They're based on historical, mythological Irish figures. Even then, there's doubt that they ever existed. So I'm not going to walk down the street and have Lancer suddenly appear before me. Same with, like you said, Tifa and Aerith and Jesse. They don't exist. It's just something that, anime lovers, terms that we use for characters that we love, more than others. Pretty much. And maybe have a little crush on. But we know they're fake. And so I'm sorry, there's fan service for girls too. Watch enough anime, there's fan service for girls too.
There's fan service for everybody in anime. Anime is actually way more progressive than Western anything when we want to think about it. There's some serious stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
Some serious stuff going on.
2B and her fellow androids have had the same impact, with endless merchandise being produced because their designs are undeniably compelling. Fans love them, people remember them, and Square Enix would be foolish not to leverage that popularity into merchandise that has proven to fly off the shelves time and time again. Looking forward to the anime, everything we love about these characters will undoubtedly be recreated with the utmost clarity or depicted in a way that existing fans will be familiar with. I can't imagine it being approached to appease newcomers. Automata's audience is ingrained enough now that millions will tune into the show no matter what. Part of me hopes that the stronger narrative moments and action scenes aren't overshadowed by an increased focus on panty shots and thick thighs, purely because the anime can be curated to focus on those qualities alone. We'll have to wait and see, but I can't help but feel that Nier Automata
I hope they do it. I want panty shots and thigh shots. I want them now just to piss her off.
Yeah, pretty much. Even though things are left behind, 2B's design is iconic, but that doesn't mean it isn't juvenile. Yes, again, you can always count on the gamer to have like this level of cringe.
I think I got like third hand cringe from you you reading it.
Oh yeah.
Free to gap. What did you say? Free to gipple? What the hell's a gipple?
It's like Giyu's best. Those are fighting words. Mara Siegfried for life. I'm not saying he's like the best overall. I'm saying in Demon Slayer he's my husbando, pretty much. In the Fate universe, the Lancer characters are my husbandos. So it's like whatever, whatever. Not I don't say whatever anime I'm watching at the time, but whatever anime I love. Like now, I love Black Lagoon. I love Demon Slayer. I love Fate Zero, even Fate Stay Night.
Is Fate Stay Night? Is that the one with the girl with the red jacket on? And she got like the bow in her
that's if you're thinking about Masat, no, she has a red jacket. Yeah, that's Reen.
And like her is the people in there like are they like they're named after mythical creatures or like
mythical either historical or mythological figures because
okay that's
Fate
I think
Zero, Fate Zero is think about like having like it's set in the mid 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically it's like modern day technically.
She's like a summoner basically, right? She could summon them.
They're mages.
Okay, yeah, I think I did see that. So the reason that I was like sitting there thinking about it is because my main in Final Fantasy 14, my main style is the Lancer / Dragoon. Like when you level up, it becomes a Dragoon, and the moves that they use in the game are actually moves that I've seen. Like they call them the same moves in the anime. I was like, oh, that must have some kind of truth to it then, because clearly they're getting the mythology from somewhere. Even with the RPGs and stuff like that, some of that stuff is coming from somewhere. It's not like they just
very
you know what I'm saying?
knowledgeable about history and mythology.
Yeah.
With these characters. They did their homework. Basically.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I did see that one then too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is a good anime too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm saying it's like the Lancer characters that are like Irish mythological figures. Not like I don't want to give anything away because like if you haven't seen Fate Zero or Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, I don't want to give away who they are necessarily. But those characters are my husbandos, basically, like both ones. Basically,
they should give
because Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, like both Lancers in each one is Irish, but they're different figures in history or legends, basically.
Have you seen the Record of Ragnarok?
Not yet. I'm like slowly getting through like other animes I have not watched yet.
That one I'm gonna be 100% with you. This how they sold your boy, right? So there was a I think it was MXR Plays. They always do the meme reviews and whatever. So they had the meme of what's the name? Aphrodite, the goddess of love. What I forget her name.
Well, I think in the actual Greek it's pronounced Aphrodite.
Yes.
But Aphrodite.
Her. Yeah.
Pronounce it.
And basically they have her with her guards, right? They're standing there and like both of them are holding her for boobs because they're like so big. I'm like, sold. I'm watching this anime, which is funny enough. She's really not even in it. Like she basically sitting down. But the thing about it is really cool about it. Aside from that, now when we want to talk about fan service, that's actual fan service, right? But the actual anime, when you were watching it, it's really about all historical figures versus the gods, basically. So one of the coolest things I saw in there, which was crazy, is that they bring back champions from the past. So one of the fighters had to fight Zeus because in that version of it, Zeus is the main. He beat his father Titan. Chronos. Sorry, yeah, he beat his father Chronos, so he became the head god basically, and he had to fight Adam. I'm like, wow. Like they made him fight Adam. Like and literally they had him as like he was like they actually told like their version of what happened in the Garden of Eden, which is a pretty cool spin on what happened. And it's actually really dope. And Adam is actually, you would think, because they made him like he literally has like a fig, like they show him like he's like they drew him like he was naked, you know what I'm saying? And like, well, what are they doing here? But yo, he's actually one of the most powerful fighters in there. I'm like that's what made it so crazy. I'm like, unbelievable. Like they actually made Adam cool.
I am going to like right now right now I'm watching the Attack on Titan final season. So
I'm watching that too.
I haven't really been watching any other animes. I don't want to get other than Demon Slayer because I don't want to get like mixed up anything.
I've been snorting anime. I've been lining up like freaking Scarface, a whole mound of it, and just like more anime. More anime.
I paused watching Claymore.
I watched that. I like that. It was cool.
Because Lethal recommended it to me, and I started watching it, but then I had to pause because Attack on Titan premiered. So I'm like, okay, I gotta take a little break. I'm gonna get back into watching that. I'm gonna watch the Ragnarok.
Definitely, you're gonna like Ragnarok. But I watched what I just finished watching was That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. That is actually really fucking good. It is really good. Like I wasn't even thinking about it. And big shouts to the YouTubers out there because you got YouTubers out there. I forget the guy's name, but he basically does an abridged explanation of things. Like he'll do like a random anime. I'm like, and he did it like, because of this guy I watched Overlord, which is fantastic. That's another good one. And then I watched That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. That is, I mean, you would not believe because they made it almost like an RPG. Like that's how most of these animes are. Like that's the trope now. It's the RPG trope, and they just did a good job at it. I love it. I'm not gonna give that away, but I'm just telling you, don't be turned off by the name. Because at first I was like, I'm not watching something about a slime, but it's really fucking good. It's good. It's got you good.
Like there's like a lot I want to check out. Like I said,
yeah,
the ones you mentioned. I'm gonna get into watching Berserk. I mean, I know that the original creator passed away recently.
Yes,
it's gonna be real interesting. I gotta talk to Mark the Cyborg, and ask him which one should I start with? Because there's
I would start with the original. I started with the original because the way they did it is, Netflix bought it. They had the rights for it, so they have a Netflix version that starts right after that the original. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, because the way it stops is where things really hit the fan. As far as the original, I'm assuming the original manga / anime, and then it goes into the almost that 3D type of animation. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's anime, but it's like 3D, like almost digital type. That's the type of thing it is. I watched it a lot. It wasn't as good as the other one, but I watched it to continue the story. But definitely watch the first version of it. I think the first one is, what do they call that one? I think the first one goes by Guts. I don't think they call it Berserk, even though it is Berserk. I forget. But yeah, you have to watch just start with the first one. Like if you Google it and just look at whatever the first one is, just watch that one and watch it all the way through. You'll enjoy yourself. You will.
I know you're asking the chat this, Jacob Ironside, but I'll show you. It's a chibi version, but I'll show you my favorite. Where are you?
Anime character?
Here. Revy. That's my favorite anime character, Revy from Black Lagoon.
What is that one? I keep hearing about that one too.
It's about these the first episode literally begins with these pirates kidnapping this guy who's like a low level, works for this company. He's kidnapped because they were think they could hold him for ransom and get like the company he works for to pay his ransom, and they were like, fuck it, we don't care, you can have him. And so not exactly tagging along with them, but he ends up as part of the group because he can't go back to like where he used to work for. And these pirates work for this not work for, but they get orders from, oh god, what's her name? It's like the former like Russian Russian officer who's who's gives them tasks to do, and like a lot of like, hold on, I gotta find like, yeah, here's a good hot chicks, guns, explosions, pirates, basically. It's yeah.
Okay, sounds like my kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, Revy is, I gotta find like a better like image of her so I can show you what she looks like. But she's, if I'm not necessarily bragging, but in terms of personality, if I were an anime character, it would be Revy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what she looks like. Make sure you find an actual image of her, not just like fan art.
Yeah, you'll find that a lot. And big shouts to the modders out there who've been modding the hell out of Tifa right now. I've been going down a rabbit hole with that one. You want to talk about fan service? There's like the thing about it is the crazy thing about it is that Square Enix, they actually toned Tifa down because they're like, oh, we wanted to have. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Revy.
Okay. Actually, you know what? That actually has your aura around it. Like, it seems like you're the type of character you would be.
Yeah, I'm saying like if my personality were an anime character, it would be Revy.
Yeah.
And you'll see if you start watching Black Lagoon, you'll see it.
I might start watching that tonight because my thing is I can I'll like when I get through an anime, I'm like, I want more.
Thank you.
And it's just
Bella
like,
Laika. Yes, that's her name. Couldn't remember her name. Bella Laika is the Russian agent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just need more anime. That's my thing. It's like I said, it's an addiction of mine at this point. But yeah, it's like I was saying what's that?
Yeah, but for me, it's like because there's like nothing else really worth watching that's made in the West.
Well, that too.
Really
Well, actually, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie. Superman and Lois is actually pretty damn good. I can't believe that shit is that good coming from CW. It's really good. It's really good. But what I was gonna say is that, you know, when you talk about fan service, it's like Square Enix basically purposely toned down Tifa so it wouldn't be fan service, and the modders like, hold my beer. I'm gonna show you some fan service. Like they literally made. There was one they actually gave her like a freaking low cut dress. They enhanced the boobs more, right? And then like they put like stupid, like ridiculous jiggle fizzes on it, and like you see Cloud and Barrett talking to it, and they stop and they're like. I was like, and they animated it all like that. I'm like you guys are freaking champions, bro. Like seriously.
Yeah, aside from Cobra Kai, there's really not much.
Yeah, Cobra Kai is good too.
I'm not saying
I keep hearing Reacher is good too.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I'm not saying there aren't good shows out there. I'm just saying they're few and far between.
Yeah, it's
not
like
I gravitated to
before
anime.
We had so much.
So many good shows that you didn't know what to do with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, back in the day, you get your TV guide and then you just sit there and you be like, run through the whole night of what's on that, you know, like a Thursday night. Oh, I got this show to watch, that show to watch, this show to watch, and then you be done for the night. Then Friday comes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore.
No, definitely not like that anymore, which is a shame, pretty much. But this is the last article, pretty much. I don't know if we're going to go into the entire article because it's Kotaku and they are kind of cancer. Valorant. Valorant's Twitch streamer accused of dodging, muting women. Much like Ninja before him, Jason R has been accused of deliberately not streaming with women. So let's see.
And what's wrong with that? If he doesn't want to stream, did they even give the reason why?
I'm going to go into this article but like I said, like we were talking earlier, it's like first off, it doesn't matter if we agree with him or not. It's his stream. If he wants to do it and he doesn't want to stream with women, fine. Then if you don't like it, don't watch them. Like watch people who will stream with women. If that's like
if that's your make or breaker, you need to watch people who stream women. And here's the other thing, like I was saying off screen, I'm like, if he wants to go ahead and basically cut out 51% of your audience, because to be fair, there's 51%, 51 to 50, well 51 to 49 of the split of men and women in the world. If you wanna cut out 51% of your audience, hey. That's my audience I could take then. More for me. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So I'm saying we'll see what this guy says. Because Radio is telling Lethal and Mazza about this when they were streaming Apex.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, let's see what this guy says. Again, like I said, if it's like one of those situations where it's he's doesn't want to get me too'd,
Mm-hmm.
I can see where he's coming from. I can see where he's coming from. Like, like if he, let's put it this way, if he's so, if he doesn't want to deal with the shit, like if he just says something that's taken the wrong way and gets me too'd, things like that, and like, yeah, I can understand that shit. If he's a genuine douchebag, then, well, hey, yeah, then he's just a douchebag, and don't watch him, pretty much, and he'll lose his viewers. I like complaining.
Never heard of him, by the way. To be fair, I never heard of this guy.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I never played Valorant. I don't watch Valorant streamers, so I never heard of him.
I never even heard of that game. What game is that anyway?
I don't know. All I know is Mazza hates it. Just like, oh. Okay, so he's Jason R. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. A former CSGO player and full-time Twitch streamer is under fire for repeatedly dodging Valorant games in which women are present. He's also defending himself in the worst possible way, saying he can't disrespect women if he never interacts with them. It's not a good look. Well, then he can't okay, whatever.
That's basically what you were saying. He said he doesn't want things to get taken out of the wrong context.
Yeah. At the start of this week, a number of female professional Valorant players, including Annie and Panini, levied accusations of sexism against this guy for allegedly disconnecting from games whenever a woman appears, as well as muting female players in Valorant and other games. And this isn't his first brush with those kind of allegations either. Okay, this Vanessa chick, a pro Valorant player for esports organization Shopify Rebellion, wondered on Twitter on February 20th whether folks were going to talk about that one big streamer that mutes women in ranked games. She was alluding to, I guess, Ruchelski or something, Ruchelski, who was previously accused of dodging and muting women in 2018. Panini's tweet blew up and snowballed into a series of accusations from other Valorant players, such as Benita, who said he's been doing this since his Counter-Strike days. 2 days later, Cloud9 Valorant pro Annie Roberts corroborated. Okay, first off, I just have a question. Her first name is Annie. Why the fuck did she go by the nickname Annie? I don't know. Corroborated Panini's claim on Twitter. Annie said more than 50 women have had the experience of, like this guy, coincidentally disconnecting from a game as soon as a female player joins his team and her voice is heard. He claims these drops are typically the result of hardware issues, in response to which some are calling BS.
So let me get this straight. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If a guy's a douchebag and does, and says and does anything inappropriate to a woman, he's a bad guy. And also, if he doesn't want to talk to any women, so he doesn't get tempted or goes in that situation, he's also a bad guy. Is that what y'all telling me right now? Because are you so mad that this guy doesn't want to play with you? Then why do you care if he doesn't want to play with you? Don't play with him.
Yeah.
Like, why do you care? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either, because that's basically, it's like, in my case, like, because I don't call myself a female gamer, I'm a gamer, pretty much, who just happens to be female. But in this case, I'd be like, okay, fuck you too. I'm not gonna play with you, pretty much, and just move on. Like, what? Like, who cares? First off, who cares how long he's been doing it? Secondly, who cares the fact that he is doing it? Just don't watch him. Don't play with him. And it says if it joins his, if it says claims these drops, if it joins his team, which tells me that this game has servers, so you're not exactly in the same team every time. So if he disconnects, then you disconnect as well and go into another team. Pretty much, it's that simple.
I'm so confused here, because if it's almost like people got, like, when they got mad when Henry Cavill said he didn't want to get Me Too. They got mad at him for not wanting to get Me Too'd.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand how kind of insane clown troll logic that is? For somebody who doesn't want to get in trouble and you try to stay away from that trouble, that says, oh, well, you're a douchebag for trying to not stay out of trouble. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how does that make sense? Like, if I don't want to get into any kind of trouble, I want to stay away from it. And you're like, oh, well, you can't control yourself. Maybe it's not him who he's worried about. Maybe he's worried about people like this who get mad at him for freaking not doing the thing that he's trying not to do. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's the kind. I don't get it.
This is why, like, this is a disease, a mental disease, because no rational person thinks the way these people do. Like I said, if he's acting like a douchebag, if like this is basically a douchebag move, then you basically just say fuck it and go play with another team. Pretty much, you don't play with them, you don't watch them. It's that simple. From what I can tell from like just reading this article, that's what Valorant is. You're not exactly stuck with one team unless you are literally playing with other like friends, pretty much. To be like playing Fortnite or even Splitgates or Apex, basically. Apex, that's an example, basically. I started playing that, Apex Legends, all right? Unless you have, like, haven't invited your friends.
Yeah.
For, like, either Apex or, like, PlayStation, whatever, like, console you're using or PC that you're using, you're going to be put into a team.
Yeah, the same thing with Final Fantasy. Same thing. You get randoms.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which means that also means that if you don't, let's say like you just want to jump out, which would be like a douchebag move to the other players, but you want to jump out, just jump out. If he's muting you, then just jump out. Don't be part of his team.
I've had times where I'm playing the game and like if I'm stuck with a newbie team and they keep dying and I gotta like for instance, like I'll try to get in a quick game before I go to work, right? And if I get into a dungeon, I get in and these people are dying constantly, and like maybe a 10 to 15 minute dungeon is taking me 20 to 25 minutes, I'll leave because I'm like I gotta go somewhere. I'm like, yo, sorry guys, I gotta go. That's it. You can just bounce out. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like this is real. It's real. Like that's the thing that gets me. Like they're complaining about stuff like this is hurting them. Like how are your feelings hurt that somebody doesn't want to play with you? That's literally, you know what that sounds like to me? It's like, oh, they don't want to play with me in the playground. I'm going to go cry. That's what it sounds like. Like, look, me personally, the more women, the merrier. It's not my fault that I want a digital harem. I can't help that. It's in my DNA. I want a digital harem. So, but if that's not what you want to do, then don't do it. And then don't worry about it if you don't get into the digital harem. That's all. That's all. It is what it is.
I got to get the clip of this comedian who's like has like a part of his routine was talking about political correctness. Like this is about political correctness, and at one point he says like, "When did sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me?" Become irrelevant, pretty much. It's like. Oh, so and so called me an idiot. Well, don't worry about him. He's a dick, pretty much. Like that's what our parents used to tell us. Like, don't worry about that kid, or don't worry about it. Just move on, pretty much. But now you got these people complaining, like you said. It's like it's like like this Jason kid won't play with me. Then don't play with him.
Exactly.
Then don't play with him. And then, like, they're claiming that he's manipulating his audience and gaslighting them by saying he crashed every time, refuses to address any allegations as well. Okay, first off, okay, he has responded to the allegations. On Twitter, he called out Halo Infinite Team Cloud9 for supporting women bashing my wife, though folks were quick to point out that their issue is not with his wife, but with his avoidance of and comments about other women. He also stated on Twitch that the reason he crashes so often is that he's on a dual PC stream and using Voice Meter Banana, which causes his game to boot up, hang on a loading screen, and break his audio. In an effort to make his case, he even showed a clip of what his screen looks like when a crash occurs. Kotaku reached out to Annie. Everyone.
So this guy's married.
Yeah, he's married, but he hates women. So.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe the most damning part of all this, though, is his disparaging language toward women. In an astonishingly ironic defense against the accusations of misogyny and sexism, he declared, "I didn't hear anybody in this fucking server that I apparently fucking crashed because there was a fucking bitch in it." Okay, he used colorful language. He says, "I didn't hear anybody in this fucking server that I apparently fucking crashed because there was a fucking bitch in it." He also said he might get hated for the rest of his life because there might be a fucking girl and indeed a fucking bitch on his team. There are apparently some VODs of him playing Valorant with women on stream, but Annie questioned where these videos are. He also shot himself in the foot with some rather atrocious comments about how he can't disrespect women because he doesn't interact with them or talk to them. Again, kind of comes across as a douchebag. But at the same time, it's like, is the world going to turn? If it's a yes, then your life is going to go on if you don't interact with this guy or not. Or if you interact with this guy or not. It's not going to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It is not going to make a difference. If you don't like what he says, then here's what they do. How about these chicks team up with each other and form their own Valorant team? Pretty much. There, problem solved.
Yeah.
No random matches.
I love how everything on the internet is sexism and misogyny. Everything is. Like, to quote Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, they wouldn't last like 5 seconds in the Call of Duty chat room or something like that. Like I've seen my younger brother go in on people. Like he goes in on people on it. Like the one thing I will say about Final Fantasy, there's no. I think there's a way you can talk, but you have to have go a roundabout way to talk to other people. But you really can't talk to anybody. It's all texting in there. So it's like it is what it is. Like if I'm playing with my brothers, like I'll just get on the phone and talk to him while I'm playing. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do it. But if it's like in the game, I'm not talking to anybody. So you got people who could be a douchebag. You could talk smack on. Like the thing is, some people playing on a PC and they have a keyboard, so they can type a lot faster than me. I'm playing with this.
Yeah, you can't get that fast. Yeah.
I mean, I have the pad on here, but you really can't type that fast on there, especially since this thing is not the original. Like this one, I have it for PS3 too. So for PS3, this one here actually works a lot better than the new one. This one, when I type on this one, it comes right up. This one for PS4, I don't know what the hell they were doing with this because it has a lag on it. So like if I hit the button to type on it, it takes forever for it to kick in. So like if I'm trying to talk smack to somebody, I may be like, I'm like, come on, like it's not. So I just don't even do it.
Then 5 minutes later, your retort goes through, pretty much.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like they'll say, "Hey, you're a bitch," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah." 20 minutes later, your mom sucks ass. So I don't even bother doing it. Like people talk smack, I just be quiet. I'd be like in Friday, be like, when Nebo tell me to shut up, I'll be quiet. But when he leave, I start talking again. That's how I do.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I think it's also that's also part of gaming, shit talking.
Mm-hmm.
So if he drops the word bitches, like okay. First off, me personally, I don't care. I call everyone a bitch, women and guys too, pretty much. I'll drop that word. All right. But if your delicate ears, your delicate sensitivity can't handle that, then there's a mute button for a reason. And maybe, just maybe, he's muting the women so he doesn't hear them bitching during the game.
Probably.
I mute people too. When I can, pretty much. I haven't yet figured out how to do it with Splitgate. Because there was a kid, obviously a kid, and I mute the microphone on my controller for a reason. So that way, because if I know it's a kid playing, I don't want to drop certain words, basically, which I generally do. So I'll mute myself. But this kid wouldn't shut the fuck up.
You know what's the worst ones? When they play their music in the background. I played DC Universe Online. Now that game, which is always funny to me, DC Universe Online, it had the talk that you could talk during the game, and people being there just like the one dude, his kid was crying the whole time. Like, dude, shut that mother effer. Shut him up. He either turn it off or you go somewhere else. Like the kid was he's hollering and the thing. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, how do you shut it up? Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I've yet to figure it out in some games, basically. But
yeah.
I can figure out how to mute myself easily. But at the same time, I think actually one of the times I was playing Splitgate, I think because I can hear them sometimes through my controller, because I have a PS5, and I think I think this guy
Oh, you
had
got a PS5?
Yeah,
How'd you do that?
I got lucky because Sony emailed me with a special code. So
Oh,
people in the chat and Damaj and I don't. If you have an online like PlayStation Network account, don't ignore every email because Sony will do that sometimes. And I happen to be one of the lucky few that said, "Hey, like you've been selected." It's like during
really?
a certain time to be in front of your computer to be in
Damn
in a
it!
queue for the PS5, like through their sites, basically. So,
Wow.
but yeah,
I
I got
see.
lucky.
Me personally, I was always dragging my feet with that too because I never liked to buy the first gen of the new gen. Like I usually like to wait till they come up with either like for instance, my PlayStation 4 is I bought this one right before they made the 4K one, which pissed me off. I'm like, damn it! If I just waited another freaking few more months, I could have got the 4K one, and I wasn't going to trade it in. I'm like, screw it, I'm not doing that. But I actually waited. I waited until Street Fighter V to come out to buy my PlayStation 4 because I wanted to play Street Fighter V, which disappointed the hell out of me. So I'm hoping Street Fighter 6 is an improvement. To me, I think the best one that they came out with in the most recent gens was Street Fighter 4. That was good. Even though with that one, especially with these freaking fighting games, they kill you with the damn DLC. The
Yeah.
DLC is like they'll give you like for instance, Street Fighter 4 when it came out only had like 8 characters. By the time it was done, they had like 32. I'm like, it was all DLC after that. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing over there? Like I'm saying, like you remember like the old Street Fighter 2, the first Street Fighter 2 came out with 8 characters. Then you had the Champion Edition. But even though it came out with a different edition, that edition when it came out had all of the characters in it. You know what I'm saying? It didn't say, "Oh, we're gonna give you the Champion Edition and then add like 20 more characters later." But that seems to be the thing with all games. But it's really even more gear grinding is when it's fighting games, because fighting games is like, okay, you play with all these characters and then you wanna, because it's not like it's a story mode. You can just keep playing something and do it. It's like, okay, you beat the character, you want to play the next one. Beat the character, play the next one. And then you gotta wait till they come out with the new DLC to play with the new one. You know what I'm saying? I hate it they do that. I just hope that they at least give us 15 characters for this. Just start out with 15. 15 is a small number to ask for. Give me 15.
A little low.
Yeah, it's still low, but I'll take 15 rather than the damn 8.
I think of with Soul Calibur, I think you got like 12.
Yeah, I think the one I have. Let me see. Hold on.
But anyway, chat, real fast. I'm just go through this. He said, do not support misogyny. Do not support sexism. I do not support people being rude to my wife for absolutely no reason. And this a bit tough to reconcile these statements with the rants in which he openly calls women bitches. Yeah, I call men bitches too. So yeah, that's the end of the article, pretty much.
This is the one I have. I had the one. That's the one you got. Soul Calibur 6.
Yeah,
I
downloaded it directly to the console, but yeah, that's the one I got.
Okay. Yeah, because this has 2B is the bonus character in this. Well,
Yeah,
it has Guro. He's like the in game, like the first start, like he's in the game, but then 2B is unlockable basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I just bought her as the DLC because I was
you bought her?
she's only only like about $6. So I'll just get her too because Soul Calibur 6 was on sale for $9 for
Damn, $9?
Yeah, it's on sale through
I think I
PlayStation
got
Store for $9 now, 85% off.
I think I got this when it was $20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like not too bad. Like if you go through the store now, it's like until March 10th, it's like $9.
You got the PS5 version of it?
No, it's still the PS4 version.
Oh, okay.
But it's still like playable on a PS5.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but it's like, but if I were to wait until like the day after March 10th, it would be $60.
Oh, it goes back up to regular price. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I just said like screw it, I'll just get that and the DLC. So for like a little over like between $15 and $16 with the tax,
you got everything you want. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So
I think they got another guy coming out in this too, if I'm correct. I I forgot because they got more DLC that came with this. I didn't pay for anything either. I don't know what it was, but they just added new characters in there. I think what's his name is supposed to be in there. He was in shit. What game he was in? I think it was an SNK game. Yeah, he was an SNK character. He's a DLC that I haven't played it in a while. I don't know if they put him in there yet, but I know the last time I played, they was announcing that he was going to be another DLC. So I think he might have been the last version because I don't know if they're usually when they come out with a new system. So you're probably going to get a Soul Calibur 7 at some point because they got a PlayStation 5. So it's probably going to be a Soul Calibur 7 at some point. But yeah.
So like basically that was pretty much the end of the article where it's like
Okay.
no definite proof of the reason why he's doing it because he's saying it's one thing, these chicks are claiming another thing, but obviously he's guilty.
Yeah, he's guilty. Well, their headcanon has made him guilty because, listen, if he's dropping F and B bombs on chicks, he's a douchebag. Just drop them back at him, whatever. But if it's the point of he doesn't want to play with me, you do know that sounds very immature. I'm just saying, just don't play with him then. All of you females that are complaining that he's not playing with you, like Mara just said, how about y'all start your own league and you play together?
Yeah.
And then fight him and then beat him and then talk smack to him while you're doing it. How about that? I don't know what kind of game this is, but whatever. If it's like a Uncharted game where you fighting each other or Call of Duty, you fight each other, get your own squad, go after him and then smoke him. That's it. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
And then talk trash or teabag him on the thing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah, and his whole points out he's not the only player. Find others. Yeah.
Exactly.
There are other people who play Valorant, so it's not like this dude is the only other person you can play with.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes it bad too. Cause they're making it like he's the only other player to play with too. You're right.
Yeah. So I'm like, right now, like it is what it is, and I wish I could go a week and like actually have like articles that are like not cringe. But it's like few and far between at this point. But those were the articles I had that I wanted to cover this evening. It ended up being kind of like an anime discussion stream for the most part because of the Nier Automata anime coming out, Demon Slayer, and the Neon Genesis Evangelion voice actress who's like, I don't know where she was coming from.
Yeah,
like,
that person, I think out of all of them, she gave me the most third-hand cringe from you reading that because
like somehow if Trump's back in office, it would lead to not only genocide of the Ukrainian people or something like that or whatever, but the LGBTQ community. So it's like,
listen, let's play that game real quick though. Notice how he didn't do that until Trump wasn't there. I'm just saying.
well, that's why
You want to play that game?
Sister. Yeah,
You want to play that game?
well, that's what I was kind of pointing out to my sister. It's like, no, anybody who knows anything about Russian capabilities would know that if Putin wanted to try this with Trump, while Trump was in office, he would have. He would have because he has the resources to you're saying now, invade Ukraine, pretty much, relatively quickly.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it when Trump was in office. Why? He waited until someone he felt he could control much more easily was in office. Again,
mind you, the funny thing about it is that they went all that time talking about Trump was a Russian asset.
Yeah. So why didn't he? Yeah. Again,
why
didn't he?
Why didn't he do it then if he was
in the office?
Yeah. Why didn't he do it then? He waited till he was out of office. That really, when you sit there, that's what I'm saying. I'm not a fan of either one of them. But when you sit back and you got to step away, right? And then look at what's happening and then come back and act like you got some sense. Because if you're looking at this like you got some sense, it don't make sense. The stuff that they're coming out of their mouth.
Yeah.
In regards to Trump. It doesn't make any sense. Again, before this guy ran for president, he was a freaking, what they call him. He was like a cultural icon. He was on WWF. He was on the show. Everybody thought he got a kick and blast out. He had rappers talking about him all the time. He was hanging out with rappers. And as soon as he runs for president, he's the biggest instant phobe on the planet. I'm like,
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Word. Yeah. That's what we're gonna do now. But
yeah, it's really only because he had the wrong letter in front of his name, which is like, that's really it. Basically, if he'd been run on the Democratic platform, he probably would have been like raised up on like a
That's probably
pedestal.
because because look. I mean, look again. Look who the current who 46 is who he used to run with, and nobody says anything about him.
Nope.
Nobody says anything, especially when he was it not him who said that he didn't want to have his kids go to school, black kids, because it'd be like a what do you say, a racial jungle, something like that. I'm paraphrasing something.
He used the like he used those words. It was like when integration was happening.
Yeah,
and he said he didn't. Yeah, so he dropped the words in like racial jungle, and I'm like,
yeah. I'm like, and nobody says anything about that.
Yeah.
And then and look, let's forget about what he said in the past. I'm gonna say what he said recently when he ran. When he said, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black." I'm like, I ain't voting for you anyway. How about that? Just for you saying that, now I'm really not voting for you. Don't you ever put me in a monolith with other people. I'm me.
Yeah.
Not everybody else.
And that's what, like, I don't know. Like I said, like, politicians in general just do that. And, like, for me, like, my issue, like, not to get into the whole political discussion because it's like 12:10 a.m. right now. My biggest issue with politics now on both sides is the longevity that a lot of these politicians are in positions. Like, you have, like, Biden was in politics for 45 years.
Yep.
45 years, as someone pointed out. Never held a real job, pretty much. Never held a real job as a politician his whole life. Kept getting reelected, and when that happens, it's like, well, why should I do anything differently? Because you people are going to vote for me anyway. So I think there should be term limits set on like every political office, not just like,
absolutely. If there was anything like this whole you being a lifetime politician, you should serve the people for a maximum of 10 years, or if in any position. That's how I figure any position is 10. Once you go to 10 years, your time is up. You can't run for any more offices. You're done. That's it. That's what I would do. 10 for everybody. No matter what position it is, it's 10. So if you want to start as a mayor and if you want to work your way to be a president, you better do that shit in 10 years. Because if after 10 years, you ain't getting, that's it. You're done. That's what I would do. Because there's no reason for anybody to be a full-time politician. Because when you do that, what ends up happening is, what we're seeing happen now, is it becomes cronyism. That's what ends up happening.
Yeah.
Bottom line. Because if you're in a position of power, which, let's be fair, all of those positions are positions of power, and if you can stay in those positions of power, the longer you can, and the more you get your roots, get your fingers and everything rooted into it, that you don't have to worry about anything else. You're not going to. You're going to keep doing the same thing and doing stuff worse to keep yourself in that same position. So 10 years, that's it. If you're gonna be a president, you better do that shit and be a senator for 2 years, and you better try your damns within that 8. But if you don't get it in that 10 years, all right, thank you for your service. You're dismissed. Salute you. Bye. Get yourself a real job, or you better have had your plans within your 10 years to make sure that you saved yourself a nice little cushion, and then you be out. That's what you need you to do. That's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. It's like when you have like the longevity is like one of the biggest issues.
What's the name? What's the one? Gavin Newsom's aunt. What's her name? The Crypt Keeper lady. What's her name? Damn it. Pelosi. Yeah. Hasn't she been a senator longer than I've been alive? I think basically Biden's been in office longer than I've been alive, but I think she's been in it just about as long as him, right?
I think just about as long as him, and she's still there.
What has she done?
Done well. Then for rational people, if you're asking that question, nothing.
Yeah.
But they still reelect her, and then then they complain when it's still the same shit. I'm like, you keep reelecting the person who does the same shit. So why are you complaining that the same shit happens?
That reminds me of what I mean. Again, I know you don't want to talk about politics, but just to wrap everything up, it makes me laugh when you talk about they had a chance to get rid of Gavin and didn't, and then what did he do? Quadruple down on the stupidity. Yeah. That's why everybody's leaving California.
Yeah, I'm like, and like you have the nerve to act surprised when that happened. Like you had the chance to get him out of office, you had a chance to get it better. I'm not saying that like the person who would have taken over would have been necessarily perfect, but it probably would have been a hell of a lot better than what you're dealing with now.
It's like that meme with Futurama, like I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked.
No, we're not that shocked. Pretty much. But anyway, yeah, that is another episode of Talk Nerdy to Us. Unless anything changes, well, I mean, I can't do it actually. No, I can. No, I would be able to do it next weekend if anything comes up. But next weekend would be Steph. It would be on her channel. So depending on how busy she is or whatever, it's supposed to be on her channel. It could be on my channel. I don't know. I got to talk to her. But yeah. So Damaj and I let everybody know where they can find you and all that fun stuff.
All right, yes. Name is Demajini. Name's in the back. DMAJINI. That's the name of the channel. I will be tomorrow. I will be doing the Spellbroken Gaming. I'll be playing some Final Fantasy 14. We're working on our All Jobs on 90 quest, and then I have my regular shows during the week, and obviously on Wednesdays the Dark Council. I believe it's going to be on Fatal J's channel this week. So. Yeah, there's that. We may be doing some consolidation soon, but that's something down the line. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but yeah. But as of right now, we are still swapping spots. So yeah, Wednesday is the Dark Council, and then like every Saturday I do my live stream. So actually, before you do see Talk Nerdy to Us, you come check out my channel on Demajini, and I usually go for about an hour on between 7:30 and 8:30. But yeah, Mara, thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure to see you and all that loveliness that you possess there. I really appreciate that. Yes, now let's do it again sometime.
Yep, and go subscribe to Demajini's channel if you have not done so. Tomorrow I will. Sunday is generally Conan D&D in the afternoon. It's not streamed basically, but that's my afternoon. Play D&D with a bunch of other people, and then Sunday would normally be Mario Kart, but as I don't want to kill any of my brain cells, it's going to be Horizon Forbidden West. I'm gonna get back into playing that. See if I can grind my way through essentially and get a little bit further into the actual Forbidden West. And Monday's Attack on Titan discussion stream on Mark the Cyborg's channel that I do with Lethal Lightning, Mark obviously, Litigation Jackson, X-Ray Girl. And then depending on schedules, Ivan Ortega, Kristen Nova, and Lofty Pixels will join in those discussions. Tuesdays, Twitch. I have a lot on the schedule. Tuesdays, Splitgate generally that I play with followers and friends on PlayStation. So if you have that, it's free. You can always join in on my team. You can have 4 people playing at once on the team. Wednesday is Cringe Factory. Thursday will either be Horizon or Elden Ring. And then, yeah, pretty much the schedule is kind of up in the air at that point, depending on my schedule. So I could be streaming on YouTube or Twitch Friday evening and then back to normal Talk Nerdy to Us. So just about every night during the week, I have something. Stream. I think Friday is really the only one I don't exactly have on the schedule for anything. So that's
that's basically me too. I do about 7 days a week anyway. That's basically what I do. But yeah.
So and I've asked my mods on Twitch to clip things every so often, so that way I can actually go into Twitch, pull those clips, and put them onto YouTube because that's about the only interaction I have on my YouTube channel anymore. Because I don't have time to make videos. By the time I get home, I'm handling other stuff and then going live later on. So I'm sorry, most of my content is now live streams. What?
So you're a busy woman.
Yeah, I am a busy woman. I student teach, take care of stuff, and then stream in the evening. So that's about my only interaction on my YouTube channel is whenever I can stream, and then whenever I can pull clips from Twitch and put them onto my channel. So it's so I at least have some content for people to watch. Which will end up being shorts. They're only not a few seconds, but seconds.
Yeah,
long.
I've been dabbling in the shorts too. They've been doing pretty well for me. I usually use my shorts to do more political based stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because my channel, even though I have been leaning a lot on pop culture stuff, but it really was more than just pop culture. It's more about everything. And so I'm utilizing the shorts to basically hit that prong of attack. You know what I'm saying? And then having the the long form videos to do like either the more pop culture stuff or whatever. And sometimes like with the live streams, I kind of combine everything into one because usually the live stream is usually what happened during the week. Basically, that's what usually what the live stream is because you just go for what happened during the week. You know, sometimes it's all new stuff that I didn't get a chance to touch on, and sometimes I just might go over some points. But yeah, I definitely feel you with that working. You know, because I have my day job and then doing this at night, so it's basically essentially working 7 days a week. So. But yeah, I love it. Makes the day go by fast.
Yep. Says Mar, I want to see you own your students in a game. You might get a kick out of this just real fast before we start wrapping up. One of the kids, he's not a bad kid, but he can just consider himself a comedian. Like he tries to make the other kids laugh in the class, and he dropped Fortnite in his answer when I was asking him a question about the book they're reading and things like that, or like whatever point to ponder question I give the class because they're reading S.E. Hitton's the That Was Then, This Is Now in that class, and he dropped Fortnite. And all I did was in my own personal opinion, Fortnite ruined gaming. So I just flat out told him that just to get his reaction to that because that's the game he was playing. And this girl leaned over and at her desk and said, "I agree with you." Like looked straight at me and said, "I agree with you." It's like she didn't like Fortnite. So it's like, oh my God. I think that she was shocked that a teacher was like, "Yeah, Fortnite ruined gaming."
I never played the game. Like my niece loved Fortnite, and I'm like, I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't get into it. I'm more of.
It's fun to play with other people. Like that's the only really time I play it. It's like if I join with either Drunk 3PO or Epic Mike sometimes plays Lethal. It's the same as me. If someone else is playing, he'll jump in. But it's not like a game where it's I boot up my PlayStation and just jump in because I want to play it. No, it's
yeah.
It's the people I'm playing with. It's what gets me to play it, not the game itself.
Gotcha.
So and it really the appeal of it is the skins that they have that you buy with V-Bucks. Basically, it's you want a Catwoman skin or whatever, then spend this many V-Bucks. Pretty much,
Gotcha.
that's the appeal. Is the skin.
It's basically DLC skins, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it's not so much the game itself necessarily.
Yeah, I looked at the game. I'm like, I'd rather play Mass Effect. Which, by the way, I really need to get me a capture card because I want to play Mass Effect, but PlayStation 3 doesn't have the same capabilities as the PlayStation 4, and I refuse to buy the the Champions Edition, the one that they edited booty. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I have my own that has the booty still in it, so I'm just going to play that one.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it. But yeah, I need to get me a capture card.
Yeah. Yes, Trey's clapping, the sheet, we read with me about Fortnite. But yeah, so and Evan Martin says, but Fortnite is bantha fodder. But anyway, thank you so much. That, it's Damage Night schedule. That's his channel, and go sub to him. And I'm just gonna leave you all with this. Lethal is trying to get to 1K subs on his gaming channel. Since his main channel got yeeted, he lost kind of a source of income. So right now he only has one monetized channel. So it's Lethal Lightning. Type it in the chat. Yeah, if you are not subbed to that channel yet, go check it out. He puts he does stream on it on occasion. He also puts clips from his Twitch streams over there. So, but like I said, he's kind of lost a little source of income for himself when he got his main channel yeeted that was monetized. So I'm going to try to get his gaming channel monetized as well. So, but yeah. So if you go check it out, right here, that is his gaming channel, Hyper Lethal. And I will play the outro. And after that, I'm going to take my makeup off and pass out. Because a 2-year-old niece will do that to you, pretty much. And I don't know where she gets the energy. I really don't. Anyway, good night, everybody.
I used to have that energy.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last time I had that energy. But take care, everyone. Good night.
Later.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.